темно, спокойно, я на своих двух. И это шум, район давно прокурен, этим дымом я дышу. Это грязь, районный лайфстайл, это, сука, наш грув. Я всегда где-то на виду. Можешь задавать вопросы, но меня тут не найдут. Где-то тут среди кварталов мы закатанные в круг. Серые панели с нами, это старый звук, это наши. Среди районов падших мы продвигаем тему из-за всех, кого ебашит. Наш путь всегда налажен, меня так мажет. Топим только за свое, ни слова про бумажки. Это наши, среди районов падших мы продвигаем тему из-за всех, кого ебашит. Наш путь всегда налажен, меня так мажет. Топим только за свое, ни слова про бумажки. Тот самый старый звук для тех, кого качает. В этих районах спальных раскачивал ночами. И тут все в порядке, веришь, гражданин начальник? Выживаем как можем, теряя свое сознание. Дым, вылетает этот серый дым. В мечтах остаться вечно молодым. Вечно молодой, вечно пьяный. Ты делал, что можешь, но так и не вылез из ямы я. Да, тебя лишь выдают твои глаза. И страх в этих районах потерян, вперед никак назад. Это наша жизнь, брат, это так, это Минск 22. Лютый андеграунд, это наши. Среди районов падших мы продвигаем тему из-за всех, кого ебашит. Наш путь всегда налажен, меня так мажет. Топим только за свое, ни слова про бумажки. Это наши, среди районов падших мы продвигаем тему из-за всех, кого ебашит. Наш путь всегда налажен, меня так мажет. Топим только за свое, ни слова про бумажки.
With that la cola.
El que no quiera creer ni me quiera parar bola,
Que se acerque para acá, que yo le muestro la cola.
Haydi haydi haydi. Haydi haydi haydi. Now this is music coming straight from the soul for your soul. Oh lele lele. The problem with this music is it's impossible not to drink to. Let's get the beat up though. Listen to this one. You'll like this one. You'll like this one, I'm sure. It's a cliche for us, but for you guys it's something new, so enjoy. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Let's get some oil and chat. Oh, wow. that removes the reason for you to come and see him play a song that you haven't heard before, right? To je prava priča. Pa mislim, možda zvučim kao da se kurčim, ali stvarno se ne kurčim. Ja ponovo bi iskoristio istu količinu novca, jel? Ali nikad nisam oni što se na svadbi ušlihtuju, kontaš. Neki lik izvali da 30 evra, da 100 evra, da 50 evra, a i se pojavi neki jebeni debil sa strane i počne da komanduje trubačima šta da sviraju, a ovaj drugi lik dao pare, a njega niko ne sluša. Meni je merak, ja obožavam, dam pare, pa kažem, šta god vam kažu, jel te? Dam pare i onda neko drugi da poruči. Ali kad neko daje pare, onda poruči i onda mu se ubaci neka pičketina jebena, da poruču umesto njega, to mi je možda reakcionersko, ali boli me pička. To je zalomljenje, kontraš. Anyways, welcome in. If anybody's died since the last stream, please do tell us in chat, because as we all know, whether you go to heaven or to hell, in both places, you will have access to this good old community. That's what Shazam is for. There you go, Anaconda. This stream is sponsored by Shazam. Ay. Tomorrow is Hitler's Sui Day. Sui! That's the day Hitler invented the popular early 2020s meme. Sui! Welcome in to those who are circumcised and those who are uncircumcised. It is very nice to see all of you. Today is going to be a very video essay heavy day, very chud. We haven't done a chud watch in a second, eh? Because we've been covering the war on steroids. There's not a lot of new news on the war, so it's going to be focused on chuds. It's going to be focused on incel conversations about how they're trying to co-opt objective sexists, basically, and chuds losing their mind in a very reactionary way over some discourse around the Pragmata game. And how these enlightened centrists is trying to co-opt that conversation away from depicting chuds as absolutely unhinged and insane, and somehow depicting the left as being wrong on this. I'm going to be criticizing some leftists, some terminally online leftists that like drop borderline reactionary antinatalist garbage as well. So it's going to be a long conversation. We're also going to cover some news, some stupid shit that Trump has done. We're going to talk about the OG American family, the British royals going to the United States. Then we have a great video on fascism in general. We're going to look at some chuds like Ann Coulter, and we're going to talk about James Comey getting indicted. So a lot on the plate. I hope all of you are ready. We are down to 4,059 subs. The dream is to end the month at 5,000. That dream has been crushed, so I can now openly say that I'm a small streamer again, which gives me cred, okay? I'm not a filthy bourgeois streamer anymore. I am one of you, my beautiful people. Together we shall... Now I'm going to start shit-talking big streamers again, because now I can do it because I'm small again. It's going to be phenomenal. Hey, just wanted to say that I got a new job after being unemployed for some time. Yeah, I'm flexing on all the jobless in chat. Hell to the yeah, W's, Kubashi, for becoming a wage crack. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. Good for you. Seriously, W. Good for you, Kubashi. Very nice. Now you've been struggling to find a job, and now when you get it, the struggle to keep it begins. It's always funny, not funny, but it's always a strange conundrum to be in when you get a new job and you've been fighting for so long to get it, and then you go to the office and you're like, wait, like now I gotta do stuff, right? Seriously, Kubashi, I'm very happy for you, my friend. I guess there's jobs in Polska. Some jobs in Poland are left. Great news for the hyper niche online leftist community. Absolutely. Keep speaking Ruski to me, baby. Also, hourly reminder to drink water. Look at my jug. Look at my jugs. You want to see my jugs? There is my jug. The jug has famously returned. The jug I had taken to a friend's place and forgot. So the jug is now back. Large as my head. So either the jug is small or my head is large, or a combination of both. Very, very good. Very good. You like my jugs, chat. That always gives great comments on my jug. Okay. Now, is everything set up properly? No, it's not. Okay, what should the Gamba goal be? I'm fucking stupid. The Gamba goal, come on, chat, give me a number. What should be a realistic, fair Gamba goal? Realistic and fair. I need us to Gamba because I got to get these numbers up and because it's very fun. 5,000. Gamba at 4,100. Oh, come on, Anaconda. That's mean. That's mean, Anaconda, for 4,100. 4,150 is very low. 4,160. Is that okay? 150. Okay. 4,150. I think that's fair. Is that fair? Anaconda, is that fair? Other Oilers in chat. Is that fair? McGinn, is that fair? I think that's fair. I'll settle. Okay. We'll settle on the field of battle. We'll settle in the casino later. That's what we'll settle. The recount, obviously, is back to a good old famous, popular, legendary 0. So let's try and get at least 6-7 Western taxpayers in today. Last week, thank you very, very kindly. We managed to reach our goal. That was extremely base. Let's do it this week again. As I've always told you, like individual subscribers are, of course, exceptionally important. But by making sure that we every week hit the 30 Western taxpayers, I can openly say that the show becomes very self-sustainable. And we already got the big swinging Slavic dick from the West, Anaconda. Thank you. You know how much courage you need to be the first Western taxpayer of the week, because you're always offloaded. Oh, somebody else. Oh, somebody else. Oh, somebody else. But Anaconda's like, nah, let's fucking go. Not just first Western taxes of the day, first Western taxes of the week. Before we get into the recap with the kneecap, we got a link from Mufigi that I have to check because it's a link from Mufigi. Wait, okay. White people are being replaced in Israel. McGinn with those fucking thick ass 420 biddies. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. White people are being replaced in Israel. Israel was built primarily by white European Jews who did not believe in the Talmud. They are now a tiny minority, about 20%. They used to be a dominant majority. Israel is rapidly becoming a Muslim-style theocracy for Talmudics and moving away from the West. This is driven by the new majority of Israelis, Arab Jews, blah, blah, blah. The visionaries of Israel were all Europeans who believed the Jewish state should be European in nature, as were all the Zionist pioneers who built the nation. Man, dude, they are literally going, hey, my Mecca Hitler is not Mecca Hitler enough. There was like a subsect of the Nazis that got into a lot of trouble, and a lot of them were killed because they thought that the racial policies of Nazi Germany were not radical enough. They were like, no, we got to actually kill like 60% of Germans because they are not Nordic enough. So even Adolf Hitler was like, whoa, 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 right? So this is what we're basically experiencing, but with a particular subsect of Israel enjoyers. Okay, thank you for the biddies. Very kind of you. This dude posted this unironically. I am sure we're gonna explore really hard. So they're basically So we're all Zionist pioneers who built the nation. Netanyahu is a villain who has facilitated the replacement to maintain his political power. He gives subhuman degenerates such as Itamar Ben-Gvir political power in order to appeal to the Judeo-jihadist, third worldist, and keep his seat. Okay, so we got so OG Israel was supposed to be white supremacist Israel. And the main problem with Israel isn't that they are colonizers. Doesn't matter what skin color they have. The main problem is that it's not just white colonizers anymore. That's the pitch, right? So it would be super based. This is the most circumcised post I've ever read. I agree completely. It would be super based if it was white colonizers doing it. But now that it's woke colonism, it's woke fascism, okay. My ethnic state is not ethnic enough. It's too ethnic. My ethnic state is too ethnic. They are creating this pivot, which has 9.5 thousand likes, by the way. Jewish state has too many Jews in it. No, they're literally doing this. They're doing this. But what kind of American are you? So this guy's like, yo, Zionism used to be based because the Zionists used to be crackers. Now the Zionists are chocolate chip and it's fucking disgusting. You see, I cannot be banned because I used food references for both categories of human. Therefore, it was not implied as a traditionally known slur for white people. It was implied that I am comparing them to food substances. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, okay? DEI racism is dying. Okay, so Ben Gvir, Judeo-jihadist, Israeli democracy is decaying as the government increasingly caters to the ultra-Orthodox who leech on welfare, contribute nothing to society, and teach their 500 kids to do the same. But ultra-Orthodox are like under your crazy idea of white, like European settlers, pretty fucking white. Okay? Like a lot of them are fellow a type of cookie that you eat with yogurt. Okay, you did it. You beat the system. I am untouchable, dude. I am indestructible. 0 out of 0 controversies. Okay. They cater to the Talmudic settlers in the West Bank as well, known for attacking IDF soldiers and random Arabs and being a liability for the entire country, solely because God promised them this land. Oh, and the others, the white ones don't. Okay. Good morning, child soldiers. Comrade Kripp, it is a pleasure to have you as always. Thank you for the 23 months in your service to the motherland. You shall be rewarded in this life and the afterlife. Thank you, Kripp. We respect our Kripps in this chat. Israel must become European again. This is a great take. This is a fantastic take. I love this so much. Israel is actually bad because it's no longer Europeans doing the colonizing. Like, how do I not get TOS for this? No, there's no way. I cannot not get you. We want to try to do DEI fascism in Canada, but Canadians are too mad about APL, the Indian people moving here for it to work. Absolutely. I mean, it is white supremacy. Yes, the British have to invade the land again. Yeah, make Israel British again, brothers. But Britain has also been overtaken by the chocolate chip cookies, you know? Britain is also not white enough, so it cannot represent their white interests. You know who we should go and support? The United States of America, a famously mono-ethnic people and nation and state. FML when I'm a white nationalist, but there ain't no fucking white countries anymore because white supremacists are so fucking stupid that their very definition of whiteness excludes almost everyone. FML when I want to win in the race war, but I say I'm the only white guy. Yeah. Russia is a good contender. One of the most multi-ethnic countries on the planet, my guy. Literally. I loved watching videos of like Chuds losing their mind over like gigantic mosques being built in Moscow. And they're like, oh my God, this country has been overtaken. And even the most hardcore, I'm joking, of course, brother. And even the most hardcore like Russian nationalists are like, oh yeah, we're multi-ethnic. It's not a blood thing. Sure, they can be very bigoted towards, the people from the Caucasus, the people from the ex-Soviet republics that are not the Russian Federation, etc., etc. But the Russian nationalism is more like based on citizenship, on civil belonging, culture. It's not that racialized. the aspects of Russian bigotry that are racialized are very, very, very inspired post 90s by Western style reactionary pitches that they've basically taken up. Because, as we all know, there's no bigger hypocrite than a non-American right-winger, because most of them nowadays, if you listen to the Reaction podcast, you will learn that most of them nowadays simply copy-paste the American model and apply it domestically, even though domestically doesn't make much sense. So in a way, they are the least patriotic motherfuckers out there because they are simply Americanizing their country. Hell, they're even Americanizing their very definition of what it means to be patriotic, what it means to be Japanese, what it means to be Hungarian, what it means to be French. Euro MAGA causes me deep secondhand embarrassment. And Asian MAGA as well. They're all fucking very, very funny. Very, very pathetic. Guys, I just got the results. Sorry you had to hear it in this way, but turns out that unless you're 100% Sami, you're in fact not white. I apologize for any distress this may cause. Huh? Presenter view. Yes, presenter view. Presenter view. Always do presenter view. Here we go. Anyways, welcome in, everybody. Let us do the recap with the kneecap before we start. For those of you who do not know, I've started a new show, exclamation point reaction. Can we get that pinned, please? A new episode on Joe Rogan is out. Everybody's saying that it is fucking sick as hell. I listened back to it. It's really good. 2 hours worth of content for you guys. Check it out. Exclamation point reaction to get the links in chat, or by following through on the QR code on the screen. It's a great time. It's a really, really great time, especially if you're passionate about chuds, because we are very passionate about chuds. We love talking about it. Thank you, Social Deviants. Can we get it pinned, please? Links and pin in chat. Thank you. Now, recap with the kneecap. 29th of April, 2026. The only stream that serves up hot and ready Yugusi for only $6.99 a month. Is that the pitch it should do? Let's see if it works. We're no longer calling them subs. We're calling them Yugusis. Every taxpayer gets Yugusi for $6.99 a month, or cheaper in certain countries. Yugusi is free through Prime. Let me just wait for 15 seconds and see if telling you that you can buy my Yugusi sells. Let's do market research right out in the field, okay? Does Yugusi sell? Wait for 10 more seconds. If you think Yugusi will sell, this is the time you should subscribe. Terms and conditions apply. Yugusi only guaranteed hot and ready in stores for pickup orders and does not apply to delivery orders, including those using third-party apps such as Uber Eats or DoorDash. Who's a little bitch boy? You're a little bitch boy because you keep on reading this. Everyone point and laugh at the bitch for still reading this. What the fuck? That was really funny. That was actually really funny. Sometimes you're funny. That was actually hilarious. And apparently Yugusi works really, really, really well. Zero Mag, you get 5 minutes with my Yugusi. Bandito Fanos, you get prime time with my Yugusi. And Anaconda, you also get 5 minutes with my Yugusi. Man, my Yugusi is really in demand, dude. Little Yugos. I thought we were talking about something else, but that sounds much more, what's the word? Family friendly. Thank you, Social Deviants. You get 2 minutes with my Yugusi, okay? Little Yugos. It's called Little Yugos, and you buy Yugusi. Anyways, welcome to the recap with the kneecap, brought to us by the legendary Cuphead, the producer of this show, where we go through the last 48 hours, usually since the last stream, so that everybody in the chat can be up to date to the latest news. If you were smart and wanted to save time and not pay people for like RSS feeds that now go up to like, not RSS feeds, like what do you call them? The shit you get in your email. It will cost upwards of $20. Just always tune in on the Ugopnik show and just go through the last 48 hours with us, and that's it. You're up to date. Okay? Only pay people on here. Fucking legend. Anyway, top stories while you were out. NBC 28-4. DOJ indicted former FBI Director James Comey for a May 2025 Instagram post showing seashells arranged to spell 8647. Famously refers to Agent 47 from the popular video game Hitman. Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, by far the best one. Hitman Absolution, extremely overhyped. Why the fuck would you make that game linear? Like, I am the biggest lover of anything linear. I love linear games. I genuinely do. I think open, like, not everything needs to be sandboxed. Really, not everything. Hell, 85% of games should not be sandboxed that are sandboxed. But Hitman, you made Hitman into a narrative. What? A linear? What? It's like making Gran Turismo a game about riding bicycles. Apologies. AP. UAE withdraws from OPEC and OPEC Plus, effective May 1st. This follows criticism of their allies' response to Iran's attack as weak. This is an insane piece of news and completely follows what we like to talk about here as a real physical precedent sent by the United States of America to the rest of the world, that not only is it not any longer an easy choice, it's actually a dangerous choice to put American bases on your territory, and more importantly, to believe you can rely on them when they are making their foreign policy and even domestic policy decisions. So this is huje, okay? This is fucking huje. They are leaving the camp. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Do we have, Cuphead, my friend, do we have a video on that? If not, drop it into the playlist and push it all the way on top. Some like CNN thing, or maybe Fox. I would love to touch a little bit on this. Honestly, I would just like to this. I would like to parade it. To be honest, this is pretty great. This is multipolarity in full swing in front of our eyes. In a country basically allowed to form thanks to last 25 years of direct or indirect Western intervention. Says I'm out of OPEC is absolutely legendary. Ugusi gets all clenched up just talking about it. Next, Reuters. DHS confirmed a report that immigration agents are vetting immigrants for their political views, screening for those who hate America. OPEC logo cries, watching oil. Xinhua. One Israeli occupation soldier has been killed. 6 wounded in Hezbollah drone attack in southern Lebanon. They're giving them the Ukraine/Russia treatment. Total IOF death toll now 16 since the invasion began. Those are insanely rookie numbers, but it is what it is. BBC. Japan Airlines announced a 2-year trial at Tokyo's Haneda Airport starting in May to deploy humanoid robots as ground crew amid struggle to fill 4,000 jobs. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, welcome to automation. My plane's going to be fixed by motherfucking clankers, and I'm going to be very angry about it, okay? First, they put minority men pilots. Then they allowed women to fly them. Now clankers are fixing my planes. What's next? Clankers flying them? Filthy. Clankers need to go into the mines, not to fix my airport. Jokes aside, to be expected. Technology, very good. Robotization, very good. Technology and robotization being utilized by large corporate entities to rid us of the few freedoms we still have left equals very bad. That is the attitude we have in this chat. Any moralization over commodities as inherently good or goes into the liberal trash can behind me. So if you believe shit like that, please stay. Maybe we'll change your opinion. If you are on the other side, like an unironic 21st century Luddite, get the fuck out of here. Okay? Thank you very much. There's already a clanker flying the plane most of the time. It is right. It just that's where they're gonna fuck up the clankers. The clankers are gonna fuck up when they and they get humanoid form, because we're stupid, right, chat? We're stupid. If it's a piece of software that's already flying your plane, then we don't give a shit. Like it's the plane. It's not a clanker. It's the plane. Even though the plane is just a big phallic flying clanker, right? But if they put a physical little guy and moves the buttons around instead of the plane itself moving the buttons around and doing its shit, we're all gonna lose our minds, right? So I'm looking at you, a PR department of different Chinese automation firms. The fuck you doing making him humanoid? I trust China with clankers, Chinese made. Yeah, those are different. How would we call those? How would we call clankers are those that serve capital. But if it's robots that live side by side with us and develop society, what would we call those? Oh my God, I'm getting raided from Cuba. I'm getting raided by the Cubans. The Cubans are here. Dum dum dum. Welcome in, Cubanos. Welcome in. Like an atomic heart, exactly. Thank you very much, Struggle, for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Very nice to see all of you. I hope Struggle 4 and his partner are having a productive and brilliant time over in Cuba. Those of you who would like to support our dear friend of the show and what he's doing, please check out his streams while he's there and check them out afterwards, of course. Give Struggle 4 a follow. Can I get a shout out in chat? Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very much. Now, the rest of you are coming in from the summer heat of Cuba over into these cold eastern lands. We are doing a recap with the kneecap, which is a segment at the beginning of every stream where we basically cover everything that's been happening in the last couple of days so that everybody's on the same page. So welcome in, Oilers. If there was ever a moment since the beginning of the stream to make me happy and make our Raiders feel nice and welcome, this is it. We always say this is an Eastern household, so when somebody comes, you bring him a cup of tea or a cold-ass brewski. But because we live in a digital world, a gift sub will suffice. So show me how good of a host you are, chat, to our friends over from the Struggle community. Calling it the Struggle community is that like, what the fuck? Anyways, you entered as we were having clanker discourse. So what's the word for robots that help out instead of robots that serve capital? We got to have different words for them, right? The same way you have a word for the guy that crosses the picket line versus the guy who, remains with fellow workers, principled and shit. Thank you, Social Deviants, for the 2, baby. Thank you very much. You're what, 6 away from a Daily Western tax count. Thank you, Fred. Работает. Red bots. They could be red bots. Since is not bad, but it would not be correct. Bodies pronounced like buddies. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that buddies. I bought a new buddy. He's lovely. I work 4 hours a day now. The buddy is amazing. I like it. Bodies. Not bad. And also their bodies, right? They're literal bodies. Bodies is great. It's buddies, but you say bot, the bodies. And it also sounds like bodies, like, bodies, but they represent you. I like that. So there's clankers and there's bodies. We fuck with bodies, okay? We fuck with bodies in this chat. Next, AP 28-4. An 89-year-old man opened fire in Kerameikos at the Athens Court of Appeals, wounding several. Police are still searching for the suspect. The Gaza flotilla continues. Number of boats sailing 58. Speed 8 kilometers an hour. Distance to Gaza 1,314 kilometers. Estimated time to Gaza 6.8 days. What is 6.8 days? The incidents 1. Update: after stopping in Sicily, flotilla expanded from 39 ships to 58. Almost a 50% increase. No other incidents reported. Thank you for the update. Continuing with other news. Reuters, NATO considers ending annual summits to avoid a tense encounter with Trump. Ha ha, sissy boys, little sissy boys. CTV, UK tobacco and vapes bill becomes law. Those born on or after the 1st 2009 are permanently banned from buying cigarettes or other vape products. Yes, Britain, this is your biggest issue. This is what you should be tackling. I mean, I'm rubbing hands in Balkan because a whole new thing that we can be importing to the island people has just unlocked. Okay, I'ma be selling ciggies like fucking crazy, funneling money like what the lovely Cuphead. Listen, guys, my producer is dropping 5. That's good. She's gonna take 10% back because she makes 10%, of course. And you guys are not oiling. It is crazy. This is basically a call out what she is doing. Literally 1984. New black market. I can't wait for kids to be suffocating themselves on the street because they just smoked a cigarette made out of synthetic tobacco or some shit. This is gonna be such an easy thing to deal. You just make all your dealers pre 2009 born, so they can legally carry 100 kilos of cigarettes on them, and then just sell it. Loki want to try Balkan ciggies. We don't really have them anymore. It's all been westernized. It's unfortunate. Are you like Hasan? If you call me a Turk again, I'm literally going to flip the fuck out, dude. Smuggling vape cartridges in my ass to the UK just became profitable. 100%. 100%. Bro, what? What is the main... What makes narcotics so expensive? It's not production. It's transportation, okay? Transportation. Why is transportation expensive? Because if anywhere during the route you get stopped and searched, they're going to find the drugs and you're going to go to jail for 5 to 30 years, depending on the country. That's why you got to pay everybody in the logistics aspect of narcotics transportation a lot of money, which makes, that line you like to do every Saturday with the boyos so fucking expensive. That expense will not be there with cigarettes because old people will be able to transport them, carrying them on their quote-unquote body. And if a police officer stops them and asks, why are you carrying 50 packs of Marlboro Reds, they can reply with, I just smoke a lot. Eat my ass. But keep in mind, why will this create a massive illegal funneling system? Because the cigarettes will become even more expensive in the UK and illegal and difficult to buy for those born after 2009 in stores. But it will just open a massive alternative market, but an alternative market that will be very eager to satisfy demand because of how cheap it would be to transport this new, at that point, narcotic. You understand what I mean? Stop DJ Mew. How did you know how I spend my Saturday? Hasan is white Chinese, Turkic, aka Central Asian, OG Asians. What am I then? What am I? Mug the Oilers harder and gift another 5. Don't do that. Thank you very much, Cuphead, for the 5. We'll get our oil today. We're gonna gamba. I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling. It's the beginning of a new month is gonna be fun. Hasan is communist, lol. Yeah, but narcotics are expensive because of high demand. Are you implying I'm not? What do you think of communism? I think it's a good idea. I think we're just very confused on how to implement. You agree? I just think it'd be funny if our regulars came in later and see me at my number 2. Oh yeah, you're number 2 now. That's you're min-maxing this shit. You're min-maxing it hard. Next, Wired. Explicit instructions in OpenAI's Codex CLI forbids use of goblins or gremlins unless relevant to a user's query because it's use them as generic nouns. That's very funny. I love goblins and gremlins. AP, Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals lifts an injunction against a 2023 Texas law permitting state police to arrest people merely suspected of illegal entry. Korea Times, South Korea overtook Britain as 8th largest stock market with 4.04 trillion cap. Oh my God, Britain really do be falling off. Holy shit. Al Jazeera, a long-distance train hit a stopped commuter train at Bekasi Timur station near Jakarta, killing 15 people and injuring dozens. Next is the game you all love and hate, Two Truths and a Lie, where we test your ability to guess which out of these three Trump posts is a fake one. So get your channel points ready and prove once and for all that you're the true understander of Orange Man. Let me read out A. Elon Musk has been hard at work eliminating billions of waste from our budget as director of Doge. Once completed, I will be directing the Department of the Treasury to give the great American people a big refund. That is A. B is Iran is collapsing financially. They want the Gay of Hormuz open immediately, starving for cash, losing $500 billion a day. And see, quite an evening in D.C., Secret Service and law enforcement did a fantastic job. They acted quickly and bravely. The shooter has been apprehended, and I have recommended that we let the show go on. I was very badass. Everybody says it. Okay, that is C. You vote in the poll chat using your channel points. That's the fun part, because you get to go bankrupt or become extremely channel point rich. For now, most people think that A is fake. Others think that at 80,000, 90,000 now, 30,000 at B, and almost nobody thinks that C is fake. Only 3,000 on C. Tell me an example of a communist country thriving. People's Republic of China. During its peak, also Yugoslavia as well. Why am I doing this to myself? No one thinks C at all. And what is the truth? The truth is that chat was correct. Congratulations, Afghan nation. So much money, brother. So much money be dropped in that motherfucker. Very good, very good. Until IMF. It's more complicated than that. But yeah. Oh my God. Let us see who the biggest winners of the day are. The biggest winner is a Social Deviance with 60,000. You crazy motherfucker. Social Deviance crazy fucking rich, okay? And who is the biggest loser? We got SJD. SJD, man, what are you doing every time? With 20,000 lost. And we got Pink Kale 369 with 20,000 lost. So everybody point and laugh at Pink Kale and SJD, because that's the main part of almost every game. Make fun of the people that have lost. It is funny. Trolltacular, thank you for the gifty. I can highlight so many messages now. It is crazy. I also lost. I was reading the biggest losers, okay? Point and laugh. Good chat. Be bullies. Very good. Very good. Oh, yeah. Very good. Now, let's remember who the big dick motherfuckers of the last week were and applaud. Okay, let me play boss music in the background. Say a big, big thank you. Bravissima, okay? Yes, why is that one so scary? What the fuck? Bravo to Crisco at number 1, a king called Prince. Crisco beat his fucking ass by 5, literally at the end of the Sunday stream, when nobody could do anything. And Terka's the absolute legend, the literal edgelord, because he edges us with droplets at 105. Thank you very much to all three of them. for what they do for the show. Because without top G taxpayers and oilers such as themselves, we would literally not be able to do what we do. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You see a large purple dragon who introduced themselves as Jacks and trying to get you to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with them. You took too much acid and need to proceed to the nearest first aid tent. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, start the stream. Thank you to the legendary Cuphead for the recap with the kneecap. Always an immense pleasure. Now, let's get into the news. First is a big multipolarity win. UAE could make 50 billion more yearly by leaving OPEC. Holy Mother of God, the market economy biting its own hand. Legendary.
John Defteri.
I mean, not biting its own hand, biting the hand of its main sponsor. Because is proof many drops can make a flood, can make a huge flood. Oy. What's the conversation in chat? Did I miss this? Love you, go chat. Where else can I find a sentence? Tits out for tankies. Titties and boosies out for tankies. One second, chat.
Yes, is my former colleague with decades of experience. He knows OPEC more than is honest or healthy as our emerging markets editor. Now senior advisor with APCO, a communications and consultancy firm. John's in Lisbon. John, why would knowing that, if they produce more, price goes down, but they're not happy with OPEC and with their quota, why would they do something so destructive to OPEC and in such a fashion like today?
I don't think they see it, Richard, as destructive. I spoke to one senior advisor to the UAE in the last 2 hours. He said, let's describe it as strategic autonomy, the ability to make its own decisions going forward. This has been in the kind of the rumor mill for the last 3 or 4 years, and the UAE was actually considering making this decision beforehand. For those of us who like to read the smoke signals, and I just came back from the region this morning. I was in the UAE and Riyadh for the last week. I heard hints of a realignment by the UAE, and I would kind of lean in and suggest this may be the first of other decisions by the UAE going forward. I think the smoke signals were the fact that there was a GCC summit in Jeddah today. The president of the UAE did not attend. He sent the foreign minister / deputy prime minister to that meeting. So many read a lot into that this decision was happening on the day of the GCC summit. And I think, Richard, they feel handcuffed in this current situation. Right. As Suhail Mazrui was suggesting in his interview, they've made a lot of contributions, but a lot of sacrifice. And being capped at 3.4 million barrels a day. Just think about this number here. At 3.3 million barrels a day at $90 a barrel, they make a lot less than they would at 5 million barrels a day. In fact, it's a $50 billion difference between 3.3.
Listen, the conversation here is far simpler than one would think. You always give some and take some. Why would the UAE or many other Gulf countries enter OPEC? A lot of people are going to say, to stabilize the oil flow, stabilize the oil economy. We all make more money by collaborating, et cetera, et cetera. OPEC at the end of the day was basically not something you opt out of. It was not a conversation because the big guys came and they said, okay, we really need to stabilize oil flow and we got to make sure that it goes to the USD and that it satisfies us and our allies, okay? That was the pitch. And you could not really say no to this offer, okay? You come to my daughter's wedding and, you could not say no because the long term, it gave you more stability, so it was kind of in your interest. But also, you could not say no to the Yanks, right? Now the Yanks are not only proving that they don't give a shit about you and your safety, but that also they can't back it up. They can't back it up. So why limit your potential sales revenue, if we want to call it that? Why limit it when you're not getting anything in return? You used to get something in return, at least on paper. Now you're no longer getting anything. So the UAE is one of the first ones that are like, man, I'm out. I'm good. Right? That's it.
And 5 million barrels a day. That's the bottom line.
Okay, two things though, John. Firstly, I agree. The UAE has spent a great deal of money on its infrastructure and it's invested hugely and wants to get a return. But its cost of production is relatively low overall. Getting that money back, isn't this about getting market share at the cost of other OPEC members by doing this? But the risk, of course, is that if not a price collapse, you certainly have a downward pressure because of your pumping more.
Well, actually, I think this fits into a very interesting discussion about how long oil demand will stay high. Before this conflict that we saw in the Strait of Hormuz, demand was projected at 104 million barrels a day. I think this fits into the category of make hay while the sun is shining, Richard. The UAE sits on about 9% of proven reserves. They see demand holding up for at least till 2040, about 100 million barrels a day. But you see some projections that demand will drop to 80 million barrels a day by 2050. So they're saying, let's front load it right now, have the freedom to do so. And also, Richard, under the CEO, the group CEO of ADNOC, Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, taking instructions from the president of the UAE, they wanted to invest billions of dollars.
Dude, they also know that oil in the long term is eventually going to be a thing of the past. So now it's basically a gold rush up until that moment comes to pass. And sure, it's going to take a century or whatever, but whoever starts treating min-maxing the global oil trade economy now is going to end up making more in the long term.
It's not only in
as simple as that. And speaking of oil, we have reached the first hour, which means I have to do this stupid fucking segment, which is to remind you that this show has no sponsors, the show has no ads. You will never have the stream interrupted. It is 100% funded by you, the viewers, the investors, the oilers, the taxpayers, the individual subscribers. We pride ourselves in having the largest international community on here, where people of every creed and background can talk to each other, learn more from each other, and develop a truly intersectional perspective. We pride ourselves here on not just covering news 24/7, but actually trying to adapt and develop already existing theory to new developments, to repeat myself twice. So if all of this sounds good to you and you would like to see the show improve and invest more funding into other aspect of its own, like this, the sound system that I have, the camera that I have, the producer that I have, all of this is affordable because you guys invest so much in the show. So if you like where it's going, if you like what you see, do consider supporting, because that's the only source of income that the show has. Yeah. Thank you very much, Social Deviants, for the two. Thank you, Magic Pants, for paying forward and dropping your first piece of Western tax. Magic Pants, are you a Westerner or should I not count you there? I'll still count you. Thank you very much. Those of you who are confused when I say Western tax, Eastern tax, it's a little joke we do, but it's a serious exclamation point tax, and you will see what it's about. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Magic Pants. Paint the chat purple. Let's fucking go. Remember when I told you I recommended the reaction podcast at the end of a podcast I did with a friend the other day? Would you like to see someone blind react to the greatest podcast intro ever as an additional advertisement break? What this?
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? counting or not counting gang violence. Great.
The throat helps produce speech.
For your audience members, if you want to learn more about these right-wing reactionary figures who initially started on the
Oh, I follow you already.
internet and have now bled into our real-world politics, I would check out the Reaction Podcast. It's from three of my favorite online leftist content.
I'm not gonna listen to the Glaze live, but what I will do is call to all the legendary chatters in here to go and give our friend Masochist a motherfucking follow right now. Thank you very much, very much. That's brilliant fucking work. And is a fellow fucking chatter. What the fuck? Why didn't it fucking post, you stupid shit? What? It's not posting. There you go. Not getting glazed. FM Masochist is just giving based, objective opinion. Okay, thank you very much, FM Masochist. Make sure you have a show as well. Okay, I want to make sure I check it out. Send me a link. I just yap. Even better, brother. Even better. Thank you, FM Masochist. Wait, let me also give you a follow. I didn't know you were a fellow superior content creator. I thought you were just one of the masses. You should have reminded me, man. You should have reminded me. Thank you. Thank you very kindly.
Raw crude and having a trading division, but to go downstream into petrochemicals where there's higher margins.
Okay.
So they don't want to be constrained. Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber taking instructions from the president of the UAE. They wanted to invest billions of dollars, not only in raw crude and having a trading division, but to go downstream into petrochemicals where there's higher margins.
Okay.
So they don't want to be constrained by OPEC or OPEC Plus for that matter.
Right, but ultimately, John, I mean, that's a very interesting point you raise about front loading. It's, as you say, make hay while the sun shines now. But the US becoming essentially the swing producer because it's so vast in its energy. And you are essentially going to end up
And nobody's limiting the states, okay? Keep that in mind when it comes to their fucking production.
with internecine warfare within the oil-producing countries of the Gulf. And everything that OPEC was originally designed to create is going to fall apart.
Well, you raise a very interesting point. There have been strains within OPEC.
Chat, here is the episode and the channel if you want to support. Oop. I want to support. Lovely. There you go. What the fuck does it not send here then? Oop. There you go. Lovely.
Ever since the shale revolution taking place. So you see the U.S. being the #1 producer in the world. Last month, it was producing 13.5 million barrels a day. That's above Russia. It's above Saudi Arabia, #2, #3 in the world. That has profoundly changed the dynamics within OPEC right now.
Right.
And I know that the UAE position has been, Richard, why are we sacrificing when the U.S. is getting more market share?
Exactly. And the answer, thank you. I like this guy because he's not just going with the fucking classic CNN talking point. Sure, he probably represents like corporate fucking, UAE oil interests, but he's saying it how it is. What am I talking about in particular? I'm talking about being a part of OPEC was forced upon most of these countries. And they had to listen because unipolarity was unipolarity. Now, as unipolarity starts to erode, more and more cards on the proverbial poker table are being reshuffled. And people are saying, you know what? Why the fuck should I be a part of OPEC when you sell as much as you want, when you get to eat through the market share, when you don't even consult with us for a second before you start a war that closes the fucking Strait of Hormuz? Why the hell should I remain in this quote-unquote alliance anymore? I am getting nothing out of it. And I'm also not even afraid of your threats anymore. Because what you gonna do, motherfucker? What you gonna do? And that's it. That's it. That's why, like, us as leftists, we should masturbate to this far more than we do. Because it is a massive sign of imperial decline. Talking about the UAE here, friend. Okay? Chat, do not come. On this one, you're allowed to come. And I'm allowed to say thank you to FM Masochist for the 5. You really shouldn't have. I didn't shout out because of that. I shouted out because you do good work. Thank you, though. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5.
You talked about the low-cost producer.
It's almost like fucking up the Hormuz oil markets was part of the plan. They didn't count on a toll or people staying in OPEC. That's the meme. That's the meme, my friend. That's the meme with Empire. It believes that it will continue forever. And it continues utilizing a tool set that no longer works to upkeep said empire, which then speeds up the process of decline. This is very basic shit. I would never do anything this gay, personally. Why does Doof not have a sub? Why does Doof not have a sub? Why does Doof not have a sub? That's Cressy. Why does Doof not have a sub? Somebody do something about that right now. What's up, Doof? How you doing, Kaxi? We're just celebrating slow decline of the core of Empire. Thank you, Crueltacular, for giving the Doof some oil. Anti-girlfriend have sentiment in this chat is crazy. Anti-girlfriend having sentiment. And dude, you just got a girlfriend like 2 days ago, and now you're like, what, an enlightened breeder? Come on.
I'm sure we're looking at about
Come on. You're not even level 2 in the dating game. Please hit me up in a couple of years. Then you can combat the incel chatters, okay? They hate me because I have a beautiful foid. Doof, I swear to God. I'm gonna criticize you. Wholesale chatters are the best. Okay, now you're fucking
$2 a barrel in the UAE. It's a low carbon producer as well in terms of carbon capture and being efficient in that way, and $4 offshore. So I think their view is, why don't we have that independence right now? I think we also, one other point here is they're not really happy at the pace the GCC is moving right now. They have a very different strategy, Richard, and that is, for example, on free trade. The UAE has signed 36 trade partnerships because the GCC hasn't moved fast enough. So I think both with the GCC and the Arab League, we should start thinking differently of how the UAE sees that relationship and sees its future. That's some of the discussions I've had over the last 7 days.
Great. John, good to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
So joining me now is Faisal Abbas. He's the editor-in-chief of Arab News. Good morning. Thank you for being with us.
Pleasure to be with you, Audie. Thank you.
So I think most of us hear about OPEC because it has such a say in the global supply. What does it mean when a country leaves? What can they take advantage of as a result? And does it actually affect the supply for the rest of us?
Well, look, to start with, it is, the United Arab Emirates is a sovereign state. It is absolutely their decision. To broadly define what OPEC does, it's a coalition of the willing.
I wonder if the conversations about slaves in the UAE is going to increase more. About their, I wonder whether conversations about the UAE doing and funding civil wars all across Africa is going to be talked about more. I wonder whether the controversies of only 10% of the UAE actually being citizens of the country and everybody else living in some sort of quasi-apartheid going to become a bigger conversation. I wonder if the monarchic system they have over there all of a sudden becomes exceptionally problematic and one that needs an overturn now that they left OPEC. It's no longer going to be beautiful Dubai. I love Dubai chocolate. I went to get shat on and to shit in mouths many times in the Burj Al Arab. But now they're liberal sissies. Oil cartels have a right to exist. Criticizing them makes you a very bad person. It absolutely does. They used to be very based. Now they're a dictatorship. Have you heard what they've done in Africa?
If you want, for countries coming together to try and stabilize.
Are you saying that the Iranians killed the idea of Dubai? I mean, they've killed the idea of American permanence in the eyes of Dubai. They've also deeply, deeply, deeply harmed what Dubai has planned as its like long-term economic goal, which is developing an incredibly successful large tourist industry. That shit got fucking crushed real good now. And because a lot of normies that would have otherwise gone to Dubai now associate it with bombs falling. So very difficult to pull out of that. Hi, Hugo. Thank you so much for the stream today. I'm working on a video about polymarket in Kalshi. It's legal here in Denmark, even though it's illegal in other European countries. Working on getting them out of the country before they get a foothold here. I already spoke with National Center of Compulsive Gambling Addiction, and I agree it's dangerous. Now I need to find politicians from the government. Love you, chat, and remember to hug a friend. That's very kind. Very kind. Yeah, Doof. We also subscribe to the Dubai chocolate conspiracy. One of the top 5 staples of Emirati culture is shitting in people's mouths. It's enshrined in their constitution.
Energy markets. That is the core purpose of OPEC. This is why there are regulations in place. There are production caps. Sometimes they increase production, sometimes they lower productions. And the main aim is to stabilize the energy markets. As for the UAE deciding to leave, as I said earlier, it is their sovereign right. There has been precedent of other countries leaving OPEC, including countries from the GCC. But as I'm coming to you today from London, where I happen to be visiting, it's the equivalent of the United Kingdom deciding to leave Europe. It's completely within their rights, and they must have done their own calculations and costs and benefits.
But I want to know the context of this. We have the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed with this blockade on both sides. We have Saudi-UAE tensions, right, in the regions. Maybe they've always wanted to leave. And then just this morning, pretty much while you and I are talking, Donald Trump puts out this tweet, and it's an image of him, and it says, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." The image is doctored with him with...
I love it. Motherfucker, fucking countries are leaving OPEC, dude. Dubai and Abu Dhabi, of all people, are leaving OPEC. My guy is posting basically like breakup images. You know, when your bro breaks up and he never posted Instagram stories, but now he's posting them like crazy. And it's about shit that he never posted about before because he's trying to gaslight his ex into taking him back. My guy is literally doing this.
the weapon in his hand.
No, Mr. Nice Guy, I'm gonna fuck you.
And he says Iran can't get its act together, and that they don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon. This does not say to me that talks will resume soon, the Strait of Hormuz will open again, and oil will flow.
Memes about how he's a lion or alpha or some shit. Exactly. Starts like doing hardcore misogyny on the main. And vice versa. Girls do the same shit. I'm talking about straight couples here. Start shit talking dudes just because their particular boyfriend is a fucking cunt. Right? So, but now we have the president of the country doing that. Now we have a president of the country. And I think the parallels are very adequate because it's goddamn hilarious. The king came by and said Iran can't have nukes. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice King of America.
Well,
everything is Marvel.
Allow me to
everything is Marvel.
Unpack that. There's a lot there. First of all, you're rightly pointing out that some people might be reading that there is possibly geopolitical tensions behind the decision of the UAE leaving. As I said earlier, it's purely a mathematical economic decision, and unsurprising given the post-war economy many Gulf countries now have to face. In fact, President Trump just
Abu Dhabi's only cultural significance is that the nation therefore keeps attempting to male OD2. Funnily enough, Abu Dhabi has the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. I don't remember what it was called. Is this? I'm sorry, but it is objectively like this. Yeah, that I've maybe because I was much younger and maybe I'm misremembering, but this was shocking. This was actually jaw-dropping. I've jaw-dropped maybe 3 times in my life from architecture. This was actually like, I was like, what? Whoa. I was like this close to accepting Islam into my soul when I this was like, pictures don't do anything. I was like, oh, it's so white, your eyes hurt. Your eyes hurt. It's an absurd place. It's a completely absurd place. So if we can like pick that beautiful mosque up and move it somewhere else. Oh, me when I see Albanian bunkers. But I thought Trump was Mr. Nice Guy. What is this? Not Pizza Famine, my friend. Trump backs idea of changing ISIS name to Nice. What the fuck? Is this real, brother? There's no way this is real. What the fuck? President Trump on Sunday endorsed the idea of changing the names of immigration and customs on National Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which would I would have never guessed how funny American degradation would be. It's so funny. And for Nazi, yeah.
A few days ago is on the record saying that the U.S. is considering offering the UAE financial support. There's been talks about currency swap between the Emirati dirham and the U.S. dollar. This is not surprising that the UAE wants now to make decisions to help reshape its economy. 2 factors are at play here. One,
when the states start acting with more sovereignty, when larger powers can no longer exercise over their sovereignty. The LDR of this whole conversation is exactly that.
As the
UAE is unironically just saying, okay, bet.
Alluded.
And yes, they're fucking pissed off over the Iran shit. They are fucking pissed off. They are absolutely fucking steaming.
And we've seen in the clip earlier, there's been a shortage or a limitation of the ability of Gulf countries to export oil. The UAE produces around 5 million barrels a day. That's a lot to be held, to be constrained or to be held. The other fact is, like all Gulf countries, there has been a decision that no cost or effort should be spared in protecting citizens. And that meant, a decision to fire $4 million Patriot missile or $2 million Tomahawk missiles to bring down $20,000 Iranian drones every time they were fired, because the priority was to protect citizens and residents, not to mention the impact on tourism and business. So it's only natural for countries to take corrective measures or take measures that it is in their best interest to help rebuild their economy in such circumstances.
Well, we'll see what that means for the cartel and therefore for global production. Thank you for this context, Faisal. Thanks so much.
The United
There we go. There we go. Absolute mad lad shit. What's this? What's the Jewish Insider? What a great name. Gottheimer, Laurel Lead, bipartisan House resolution condemning Hasanuru Paikuru and Kendesu Owensu. I can't read this. Can I get the archive version? Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha, for the 8 months. Thank you very, very, very much. Are you a Jewish insider? Want me to whip it out, bro? You want me to whip it out? Is this a test? Test? Drop me an archive link, please. GI is a tabloid. They've been posting nonstop hit pieces. Anti-Semitism. I know they are. I just want to check out what this particular art. I'll do it faster than Cuphead. Process, please. Thank you, Cuphead. You. Okay, it's managing to glitch through it. A House resolution is to be introduced on Wednesday by the representative. Resolution announces anti-Semitic, hate-filled rhetoric and content disseminated by prominent online personalities and other social media platforms and public leaders to denounce it, blah, 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 Holocaust. Resolution outlines a series of anti-Semitic comments by Owens, including that the United States is composed of satanic pedophiles who work for Israel, dismissing Nazi atrocities and promoting the blood libel against Jews. It states the online influencers have a responsibility to avoid promoting anti-Semitic views, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of smart. Kind of smart. You bundle Hasan together with Candace Owens, depict, radicals, like all radicals, to be inherently batshit, and they're two sides of the same coin. You equalize Hasan with somebody who is very, very outwardly, like in 4 hours, I'm gonna be recording an episode of Candace Owens for the Reaction Pod, who is very outwardly anti-Semitic. You bundle them together and then you sell them as quacks. It's quacks. Pretty smart, honestly. Efforts to downplay or excuse anti-Semitic rhetoric under the guise of political commentary should be rejected. The resolution continues. Some on the far left have defended Piker along such lines. Dershowitz called Hasan a neo-Nazi. Horseshoe theory resolution. Absolutely. They milk that shit. Love milking that. Love.
We start in the US, where President Trump has...
It's crazy that UAE is going to leave OPEC on May 1st, like W's against American capital on May 1st. Comrade UAE dropped. I'm kidding, of course. I know the last 70 times didn't work, but this time we'll really cancel Hasan. Yeah.
Has called the bond between the US and the UK a friendship unlike any other on
Just want to check out this real quick. I don't know. I think it should be fun to look at.
Earth, in a speech at a state dinner, which was
Yeah, it's definitely unlike any other. I'll give you that, brother.
ended by King Charles and Queen Camilla. The king also praised the
Reminder that at 42 subs, we can gamba, and I love to gamba on a motherfucking Wednesday. So if there's somebody crazy enough to drop 42, reminder that you can gamba with that amount of subs as you enter gamba mode. Thank you for your consideration. Let's fucking go. Mainstream media have truly become drama slop from YouTube. Do not offend YouTube that way, my dear friend. We have always been better than them, but they've only... we haven't been better than them. I'm lying, but we were always honest about being shit. They have always, carried this mask of dignified reporting. But at the end of the day, they were doing the same shit as we are. We have How Superman Exposes the Evil History of Croatia. They're calling it the most Serbian video ever. Legendary. The plan to rename ice to nice is legit. This Nathan for you skit. Yeah, absolutely.
Historic ties between.
Thank you, Nickel Pickle live. Is it a nickel? Is it a pickle? I don't know, but it's live. And social deviance with the 10. The Oilers call for Gamba. The Oilers call for Numba go up. The Oilers call for the 5,000 to return once more. Thank you, brothers, sisters, and enemies. Let's fucking go. Thank you very much. Chat purple is the best chat, okay? I want chat looking like your mama ass, okay? That's the inbred corruption experiment.
Between the two countries, calling it an indispensable alliance.
You're asking a BreadTube double agent about YouTube like he's a proper Twitch streamer. Okay, you're getting banned for a week for calling me a BreadTuber. Goodbye. I used to like you. I'm kidding. I'm not going to ban you, but never do that again. Okay, I hope that's fine. Shout out to Argonian Bum. You're a friend of the show, but never do that again. Okay. Do I look like a fucking piece of bread to you? Do I look like a tube? What I do look like is poo, fucking oiled poo. The fuck up, baby. Yeah, Krilltacular with that $5. Yay! Thank you very much, Krilltacular. Let's fucking go. 3. Developing world chatters fucking holding up the sky. Let's go.
In a speech peppered with jokes that touched on shared transatlantic history, Charles again reiterated the importance of the NATO alliance, as he had done in his earlier speech to the Congress. King and Queen are on a 4-day state visit to mark the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Later, the royal couple will visit New York, where they'll remember the victims of the 9/11 terror attacks. Here's our senior royal correspondent, Daniela Relf.
He's so pissed off he can't do it in the ballroom yet. Right? The ballroom is not done yet, right? Dude, he must have screamed at the contractor so fucking hard.
The centerpiece of any state visit is a lavish dinner, a chance to put on a show for your guests, and President Trump reveled in his hosting duties.
Thank you very much, please.
During his speech at the dinner, the president told the golfer Rory McIlroy to stand up to celebrate his recent win at the Masters. And as well as talking about friendship and shared ambitions, the president also spoke of the conflict in Iran, telling guests he and the king were aligned.
We're doing a little Middle East work right now, too, if you might know.
This demon, dude. This fucking demon. We're making a ballroom and killing kids. Classic moment. I'm meeting the king. The king said, I love your work in the Middle East. It's not as good as our work used to be, but it's good work.
And we're doing very well. We have militarily defeated that particular opponent, and we're never going to let that opponent ever, Charles agrees with me, even more than I do, we're never going to let that opponent have a nuclear weapon.
Revealing what the...
Just an economic nuclear weapon, also known as the Strait of Hormuz. Let's fucking go, dude. Trump is so fucking gay. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this for years, okay? The reason we have Trump as a Führer is because of homophobia. If we just let him live his best life, this man would be out there fucking designing extremely intricate, like a little bit gauche and in your face, like gold clubs and dance halls and ballrooms, you know? It's also very impressive. Like, his ability to rebrand is incredible. Like, you would not be able to run beauty pageants in the Balkans and then afterwards sell yourself as a strongman. That would be impossible. Wait, what did you do before? You organized these things where you would like rate like dresses? What? You would immediately, like, back where I'm from, you would get hate crimed just for fucking mentioning that. And yet somehow he managed to push. That's impressive.
King has said or thinks during private conversations is usually a diplomatic no.
He also loves Broadway theater, and his favorite show is Cats. It's incredible.
No-go area. But it seems
In another life, he has a bitchy daytime show like Wendy Williams. Alternate universe Wendy Williams, Donald Trump. Absolutely legendary.
seems not for the president. In the King's dinner speech, he heaped praise on Donald Trump and the transatlantic bonds.
Tonight, we are here to renew an indispensable alliance which has long been a cornerstone of prosperity and security for both British and American citizens. Our people have fought and fallen together in defense of the values we cherish. Across the ocean and from coast to coast, we have traded, innovated, and created together. We've stood together through the best and worst of times.
Earlier, the King's address to Congress was more politically pointed, with references to NATO and Ukraine, as his words prompted 12 standing ovations. After the diplomatic drama in Washington,
I don't know about you, but like, isn't the UK supposed to be like your ultimate like villain?
King and Queen,
And especially a monarch, and also Britain. Like the fuck, like United States of America basically said, "Fuck monarchy, fuck kings. I piss on the throne." You go visit them and grovel. I don't know. But then again, I can't really criticize. Like Soviets used to like meet with kings and shit all the time. But, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Seeing UK king speaking at US Congress to rounding applause really helps prove all the Anglosphere nations are just one white empire. I mean, this is very symbolic, but to an extent. I agree with it all being quote unquote one empire, but particularly this might not be a representation of it. But I guess I get what you say. It's really on point. Imagine meeting with Peter II. Yeah? Lenin famously regretted executing the family. You never know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Tito did it all the time. Tito flirted with more progressive monarchs all the time. And they would give us shit. Diplomacy is de facto a game of hypocrisy. It's you're always just glazing everyone. Tito got the Order of Elephants from Denmark. There's a difference between symbolically meeting with monarchs and acting like monarchs under the guise of democracy. 100%. 100%. I'm talking specifically about this meetup, And they're using BMW X, 7s. This is a BMW 7. The fuck? Yeah, what the fuck are they using BMWs? Didn't know they use BMWs. This is the car. Never saw Americans use BMWs before. Maybe this is their car that they brought, that they flew in. I doubt it. Never BMWs in the States. They used a Chrysler, but they didn't want to risk it exploding. This is Trump being a sassy bitch on Wendy Williams in 2013.
So go ahead. Okay, hi, Mr. Trump.
How are you?
I work really long hours, and my boyfriend is starting to think that I may be cheating on him.
Whoa. Are you cheating?
I am not, Donald. How do I assure him that when I'm at work, I'm actually doing work and not someone else?
Now, Donald, I'm going to let you answer first. And your wife is a businesswoman, so I'm sure she works late sometimes as well.
But I think if he has that in the back of his mind, I mean, you love him that much?
Absolutely.
Can you live without him?
No, I cannot.
Because, you
live
know, if
without
he
him.
has that now in the back of his mind,
It's gonna
that
only
could
get-
be trouble.
It's only going to
For
get
the
worse.
future, I'm saying.
How long
Okay.
have you been with him?
12 years.
And how old are you?
32.
And why boyfriend? He's not...
Yeah, exactly.
That's another show.
Oh, well, here's what I would suggest. You tell him that you're working late, and he better not, to prove his point, try to roll up at the job and do something embarrassing like where is she, or cruise the parking lot.
Okay.
If he can't take your word for it, then you know what? After 12 years, maybe this is not the guy for you. And if we have to have another show on why it is you want to get married and he hasn't married you, then maybe they need to break up.
And you know what? I'm looking at you. You will have no trouble getting guys.
Okay.
How do I not know about this video? How do I not know about this video? Bruh. Smooth. Smooth as hell, dude. 2013.
Okay, we have...
Motherfucker dropped that like gold, man. Look at him like doing a small smile before he does it.
On why it is you want to get married and he hasn't married you, then maybe they need to break up.
And you know what? I'm looking at you. You will have no trouble getting guys.
Okay, we have to thank you. Have a seat.
That was fucking incredible. Thank you, Chatter. Thank you very, very, very much.
After the diplomatic drama in Washington, the
You wanted to go shopping with her for real, for real.
King and Queen moved to New York today. This year is the 25th anniversary of the night.
You would have made Wendy's perfect co-host. Look at him. That was the happiest he's ever been, dude. The happiest he's ever been. He became president of a country. The first thing he was like, I gotta make a beautiful ballroom.
9/11 attacks, and they'll meet emergency teams who worked that day and the families of victims. Daniela Ralph, BBC News, New York.
Our North America correspondent Peter Bowes gave his analysis of the King's speech.
It was a fascinating speech in many respects. I think fascinating for the diplomacy that was involved there. And it's clear that there were some subtle criticisms.
Lip filler, right? Lip filler. Other gossipy cats like me in here. Lip filler, right?
Criticisms.
I'm spitting the tea, bro. I'm petty. Of course I'm petty. I love commenting on shit like this. Oh, does that make me a bad person? Yes, it absolutely does. Will I continue doing it because it feels better than a glass of cold beer? Yes, of course I will.
The president.
I see lip filler on a guy. I see lip filler on a guy. Not passing judgment. I'm just, passing judgment.
Especially when they weren't particularly high profile, but the King talked about some of his environmental views that we know that Donald Trump certainly isn't on the same page in terms of that issue. But then when Donald Trump at the banquet started his speech, he congratulated the King on having made a fantastic speech. So it doesn't look as if Donald Trump has been affected or even offended by anything that the King said. In fact, quite the opposite. I think he certainly enjoyed that speech, and indeed the entire day. He has revelled in this occasion, I think, Donald Trump. But as far as the King was concerned, I think clearly he did have an important role here in terms of diplomacy and trying to perhaps mend some relations between the two countries. Politically, I don't know whether it's achieved that. Of course, Sir Keir Starmer and Donald Trump haven't seen eye to eye over Iran, and Donald Trump has been strongly criticising NATO. And it was striking to me that the King returned to NATO when he spoke at the banquet. This is something he talked about during his Congress speech, but he once again came back to that subject. And the striking quote, you just mentioned it in the headlines, talking about NATO to ensure that together we can meet the challenges of an increasingly complex and contested world. The views of the King, I think, very well experienced in dealing with these things over decades. And I think if anything is going to affect Donald Trump and perhaps change his attitudes, it is the words of the King.
Well, royal historian.
Okay. Maybe if he gives compliments to his ballroom, he can squeeze some shit through.
Well, we're joined now by Ann Coulter, a guest who really needs no.
I just gotta see this, bruv. I gotta see this for a second, okay? Ann motherfucking Coulter. I missed her, dude. I missed her so much. What was she up to? What was she up to?
Introduction, but Ann has a Substack now. You can go ahead and follow that. She's going to be doing a.
Of course, she's got fucking. We got lib Substacks, the lib Anti-Hasan Substacks, and the neocon Anti-Hasan Substacks. All the Substacks are directed at a tiny-headed Turkish man.
Live Rumble on Thursday. So she's, of course, the New York Times bestselling author of 13 books and has been speaking out against the war in Iran.
She was out protecting the crops from the crows. Motherfucker called her a scarecrow-looking ass.
So first, Ann, thank you so much.
What the fuck is a Substack? The fact you don't know that means you have a large hog and have a lot of sex. So do not ask. I learned like 3 weeks ago. You don't need to know it. You don't need to know it. Fucking legend, okay? Dookie butt, 10 out of 10, legend. Grass touching on steroids, okay?
So much for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
If you know what a Substack is and you're not from New York, oh god damn it, dude.
Thanks, Ann.
You're so screwed.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Let's start with this post. This was after the White House Correspondents' Center attempted assassination. You wrote on X, at this point, more California teachers have tried to assassinate Trump than Iranians have. I really wish he'd get back to domestic concerns and stop cleaning up the rest of the world. For you, have you been surprised that Trump went to war in Iran? I mean, you've sort of famously had a break with him over many years now. You wrote, what was the joke? You wrote that he could perform abortions on the Resolute desk and you would still vote for him in 2016, if I'm remembering correctly. So is any of this surprising in Iran?
Yes, and I wrote that after his immigration policy paper came out, written by the brilliant Stephen Miller. It's still, I think, it should be the touchstone for any Republican running, or well, for anything, any Republican in office. In any event, they're finally getting around to some of that. Second term, he sort of blew it off first term, thus my break with him. So it isn't the Trump supporters aren't entirely a personality cult. I always found his personality rather repulsive, but loved the stuff he was running on so I could overcome such superficialities. And yes, I think like most people, it's unbelievable that he started another pointless war without provocation. Let's just, drop.
You know it's really bad when these guys are coming out of the woodworks because they are, they're professional propagandists at the end of the day. The main reason for their pivot is that they understand that there's not enough treats in the United States to facilitate so much in-your-face lying. Your reactionary, like the trains have to actually run on time. You understand what I mean? Like, do your ungodly demonic imperial shit, but please make sure that the treats become a little bit cheaper so that when we lie to them about the other stuff, they can ignore it. By they, I mean the masses, because they've been given something. That is this pivot. That is the Tucker Carlson pivot. That is the type of right-wing agitation that we should take more seriously than any other one, because it understands that things have changed, and it understands that the more classic Republican approach, where it just like lying to you straight in your face, like, no, the economy is going great. Yes, it's the fault of the welfare queens and kings, without actually following through with any adjustment or any reform of the economy that would allow for the everyday Joe to have enough treats so they don't look at, especially foreign policy, but the most domestic as well, right? That is the main ideological shift that I am seeing as somebody relatively versed in this. At least when we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, the government actually tried to sell the lie. They're not even trying now. They just expect you to obey. Absolutely. They're not giving a pitch that's good enough. They are not allowing the material conditions to at least like reset for a couple of seconds so that it's not as obvious to the masses that they are broke as shit. They are playing as if the United States was the same United States from 20 years ago, from 30 years ago, from 40 years ago. It isn't. It isn't. And that is why the American right is planning, at least the forward-thinking one, of doing something like a glasnost, like for real, like a right-wing glasnost. That's what I would call it. Where by ousting previous members of the reactionary movement, they will redefine themselves as quote-unquote legitimate and non-partisan, and then resell your pitch with equal levels of bigotry and equal levels of imperialism, but with actual economic reform that will be able to alleviate the American labor aristocrats from paying attention too much to what is done to the filthy minorities, or even worse, the filthy foreigners. Yeah. Thank you very much, Nutsack and Falcony. Falcony, 28 months, literally from day one. The horrors persist, but so do we. And the horrors change. Thank you, Falcony. Big salute. Thank you, my brother. The Rogan episode was great. Thank you, Hugo, Mike, and Freda. Thank you, Nutsack, for the 16 months. And as we are reaching the second hour, I remind chat that we are only 21 subs away from Gamba. So if somebody drops 21 subs, they can double them potentially. They will be counted as the fourth Western taxpayer of the day. It is the perfect deal, and they can enter us into Gamba, which will make everybody in chat glaze the living shit out of you. So if anybody's got the dough, this is a prime real estate investment, okay? Prime Manhattan, Tokyo, Hong Kong center of the financial district type of a drop, okay? Social deviants making it even easier for them with an additional 2. I am talking 19 subs here. They can potentially become 38 subs. And even if they don't, you get the dopamine hit of running that Wheel of Fortune. You get the dopamine hit of reaching the Gamba goal. You get the dopamine hit of being counted as a Western taxpayer. You get the dopamine hit of allowing 19 other people to become subscribers. Use a discount on the program merch. Become a child soldier. Feel good about themselves. You get to be ethical. You get to have fun. Oh, my Lord Christ. He's pitching it as if he used to be in marketing. But that's not why I'm pitching it. I'm pitching it because this is genuinely a really, really good deal. Really, really good deal. And hell, the oil even costs less than the oil for your car. And when you go to the gas station for much more expensive oil, does anybody at the gas station look at you and say, hey, come, we have a roulette table? You can actually spin, and if you lose, nothing. But if you win, we pay for an additional 20 gallons. We pay for an additional 30 gallons. We pay for an additional 85 liters. Does any gas station do that for you? No, I do. So don't buy their oil, buy mine, because of all of these things listed above. Hype Train even started. Jesus, how much more dopamine can a guy give you, goddammit? Lady Zafira, you absolute legend. Thank you for your weekly taxes, my dear friend. Social Deviants dropping a cup of Krilltacular with 1 nutsack previous to that. 12 now. 12. The average age of Donald Trump's ex-girlfriends. Okay? 12 for that beautiful Gummo. Thank you, Krilltacular. Hype Train. Let's see how far we can get the Hype Train. These are my bits. These are my pitches. This is me keeping my hands as open as possible. I don't think there is a single channel on Twitch that gives you as many benefits and as many games to play and shit to do as I do. So, God bless. Choice is yours. Mother Mia, Cappuccina. Cappuccina, what was it? Cappuccino Pecolina.
Drop bombs on countries all over the world and see if we make friends that way. It really, I mean, every president, Paul Johnson wrote this in Modern Times.
Who are the top oilers, you ask? Social Deviants at number 1 with 19, absolute G. Anaconda at number 2 with 15, absolute legend. And Magic Pants with 10. Got a lot of people potentially entering the third spot.
I think it's in modern times, the great British historian, that every US president runs on not taking the country to war, and they almost always get us into war. For some reason, presidents seem to think that's what makes them great. This is turning out to be...
There you go. Exactly. It's like I'm like clockwork, dude.
As many of us suspected at the time, a much bigger quagmire that is going to turn out much worse than the status quo.
Krill, you beautiful motherfucker. Thank you very much. Can we count if Krill altogether has done 10? I believe Krill might have done 10. So I count Krill as it. No, Krill absolutely has done 10. I will count Krill as Western tax as well. You're very kind. Look at that number go up. Because of your actions. Oh my God, that's so satisfying. Oh my fucking God, I can't believe it. Fuck is wrong?
Quo ante, then certainly than Iraq. Iraq is at least better off. And I was a big supporter of the Iraq War. They did hit us first. If we're talking about the craziness out of the Middle East. I mean, this has just been a disaster from beginning to end.
The craziness out of the Middle East. What the fuck are you doing, you freaky ass motherfucker? They did hit us first, and everybody's like, wait, Iraq attacked America when, bro? And she's like, the Middle East in general. We just attacked an organization for literally Austro-Hungarian moment. Unironically, Austro-Hungarian moment. Oh, Gavrilo Princip shot our imperialist king. He's a member of a non-government organization. Yeah, I'm about to start World War III over that. Of course, that's not why World War I over that. Of course, that's not the main reason they started World War I. It was imperial expansion into the Balkans, literally that, and other financial reasons, etc., etc. But she's literally doing it. Like Gavrilo Princip shot our king, so we get to invade the Serbs. Some guys, I guess, some Browns did 9/11. That's why we get to kill 1 million Iraqis. Absolutely legendary. But not as legendary as Lady Zafira with that beautiful 10. Thank you, my friend. I will count you as a Western taxpayer as well. And you have entered us into the arena of Gamba. And in the arena of Gamba, guess what? We Gamba. That's the bit. That's the bid. So, ladies of Europe, please do tell us if you would like to put your number on the odds. Would you like to see the win spin? You, of course, do not have to, but if you choose to, you can always play the game of life. That's why it's called being principled. Yes, it's an incredible name. Very interesting guy. Very interesting. It's the ultimate intellectual when it comes to history litmus test. If the guy tells you World War I started because of an assassination, you're not talking to the smartest motherfucker on the planet. Ladies of Fira, would you like to spin the wheel of fortune, or would you not? As we wait for that, I'm pretty sure that Social Deviants with their beautiful 5 would like to play a game. I'm not much of a gambler. I don't think I've ever played this. So 28. If you put it on 28 and you win, you can 3x it. If you put it on even, red, black, or odd, you can 2x it, but there's a much higher chance. Let me put it on a 28 for you for your first play, and let's see it. We are not much gamblers either. It's just a fun way for chatters to have an additional way of garnering subs. We spin the wheel of fortune for Ladies of Fira on 28. Will her first gamba? Relatively close. Unfortunately not. Thank you for playing, Ladies of Fira. Big apreciado. Social Deviants now goes with 5 on black. You see? See now he's putting 5 on black and we spin it. And if it's black, I gotta drop those subbies out of my bank account. Ba 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 ba, says Social Deviants as he whips out his hog and pisses all over me. Congratulations. Congratulations, Afghan Nation. Here is 5 subs, want to you by Social Deviance and his oil. Every single chatter for the rest of the stream. If you donate 5 subs or more, you can spin the Wheel of Fortune and get this exact thrill. Thank you for your consideration. Gamba is now officially live. I've trained at level 7. Let's see how far we can get. Gamba time is usually the best time to milk the trains because, well, you can double everything. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I don't think so, W commentary. How about you put that mouth where your money is? What? I do not speak language English.
Happening.
Let me see if you can break your record of always losing.
Like you said,
milking the train is a terrible image.
you supported that war with Iraq. I would say, yeah, I mean, Al-Qaeda hit us first. I don't know if Saddam Hussein did. But in the interim, yeah, we can understand, I think, the fervor of
Did the million Iraqis you genocidal dogs killed hit you first as well? You can blow back, motherfuckers.
Country, even if we think it was built on lies. But you were a key part, I think, with your book, Adios America, which I remember having read my first couple days over at the Daily Caller, of the architect, really, of the move, I think, for immigration restriction in a reaction to the Romney and the Bush era. So you broke with Trump, really, over that. But one of the parts that we all kind of thought was a rejection of neoconservatism, specifically with the selection of the vice president.
Yes,
and many
she was unironically too right too early. She was too right too early. The current pivot people like Tucker are doing, she presented in a very stupid way, but what she presented was genuinely, I can't believe I'm going to use this particular word, but decent reactionary theory. You get what I mean?
the other national security officials who work in the government. And yet, we actually got something much worse this second time than
1 minute and 40 seconds of hype train left. Chew, motherfucking chew. Let us save it and spin the wheel of fortune.
the first. What's your assessment? How do you think this happened?
Yeah, it's weird how I've always liked the neoconservatives. It's weird how that has just come to mean nothing but pointless wars these days. I mean, back when I was supporting the Iraq War.
Oh my God! Oh my God! The line is going up with the pizza famine, and when you're eating pizza, you want some drugs, and then the Houthis show up, and they bring you stuff from their trap house. Let's go. Thank you very much to both of you. Thank you very, 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 very. That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Pizza Famine. I've counted you. Thank you, Houthi, for all the oil. Thank you very much. Would you guys like to spin the Wheel of Fortune, or is it just oil for my Hormusi? Very nice to see you, Houthi. Tell me, my children, do you spin it or do you not? And also, thank you very much. Very kind of you. Making that number go up makes me go up. God is forcing you to spin. Let me show these nerds how to gamble. How much do I get? $5? You get 5 subs, bruv. It's like you get 20 euros from me here, potentially. Or other chatters. So where do you put them? Where do you put your 5? Show these nerds. Pizza Famine, would you like to gamba, my friend?
And I would again. I always sort of want to go back and argue that one and point out how it was very different. Didn't want to stay there for 10 years.
Just tell me where.
But I know that's kind of off the point. But they kept calling me a neoconservative back during those times. I had to point out, no, I'm not Jewish. The history of the neoconservatives were Jewish intellectuals.
And this is where she gets lost, okay? This is where she gets lost. You don't play this game this way, dude.
Who realized the Democratic Party was insane. And you had a lot of really smart, great people like Norman Podhoretz coming out of that. So it's sort of unfortunate that the word has now come to be so closely associated with pointless wars around the world. And even if there were some point to this war, and I really don't think there is. I think there's a lot of fear mongering, as always happens. I'm interviewing on my live Substack, or rather live Rumble this.
Confusing her platforms. I don't think so. Thank you for your taxes. I never doubted you for a second, but I'm guessing you want to get all your money back by spinning the Wheel of Fortune. Welcome to the only ethical Gamba experience on the planet, the Ugopnik Ring of Hell. We are starting out with Pizza Famine. That is dropping 10 on odd. I repeat, 10 on odd. Do we have Houthi Trap Lord? That is how it works. You tell me where you want to put it, Houthi Trap Lord. All right, give me 2 on red, 1 on even, 1 on 13, and 1 on 7. Oh, God. You need a lot more fucking subs than that in order to be able to distribute them. That's black. What? Oh, did you catch that? Ooh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Black is on. Whoa. Okay, 10 on odd. It was not. It was, oh, lol. No, you're fine, Houthi Trap Lord. Just put them on one thing. The 5 I cannot, separate. Higher levels, I'll separate. I don't think so. What do you want to put your shit on? Oh, I don't think so. I know you want to Gamba. I know you want to lose. Come on, faster. Let's save that train. We're on level 9. Come on. I got to lose. So I put it on 7 then. Come on. Jesus Christ, come through. Let's go. We got a 5 on 7. 5 on 7, 5 on 7, 5 on 7, and 10 on odd, 10 on odd, 10 on odd. I don't think so. What do you want to play? Quickly. I want red. Okay, then you're going to spin next time. Oh, no. Actually, no. We got odd and we got red. Fuck it. I never do this, but let's do this. We got 10 on red, 10 on odd, and 5 on 7. 5 on 7, 5 on 7. What if we actually get 7? That would mean I have to pay a crazy amount of subs. Let us spin for the Lord. Spin it for the Lord. And we got 30 motherfucking 5. So what does that mean? The 7 has lost. And odd has won. And what was Pizza Famine? Pizza Famine was on red. So we got a tenor doing big dick victories. Very good, very nice, very хорошо. Very good, very nice, very хорошо. Very good, very nice, very хорошо. Oh, this is what I behave like in the casino. Right? I was odd. No, you were odd? No, you were odd. We had odd and we had red. We had odd and we had red. Right? We had odd and we have red. Odd and red. Right? We had odd and we have red. Pizza wanted, yes. Oh, Pizza Famine. Yeah. Pizza Famine. Yeah. Here was a tenor from Pizza Famine. Congratulations. I don't think so, as always. Lost. Lady Zafira, thank you very much for the 5. Tell us if you want to spin that shit. Can we check out this video, some kind of the U.S. trade relations? Of course we can, my friend. You are odd. You are odd.
Hello, I'm Rachel Gilmore, your least favorite person's least favorite journal.
Jesus, it's a 1-hour video. Tell me which part to take out, Lady Zafira. I would love to, but just tell me which part. Are you gonna spin those 10? Which 10? My 10? That's funny. Get caught in a loophole of continuous oiling. Level 10 hype train. The Gamba is on. Let's see where it goes. Let's save it. I mean, yeah.
Thursday, John Tierney was a longtime science reporter for the New York Times and now is at City Journal. And he's written a lot of brilliant books, one of which is The Power of Bad. And basically punishment works better than reward, that sort of thing. But one of the things he says about The Power of Bad is countries always overestimate the threat when they're going into war. And they also overestimate the
oh my God, incredible analysis.
Ease of their victory.
Odd for the odd duck. We got a 5 on odd. 5 on odd going once. 5 on odd going twice by Lady Zafira. And we spin in the name of destiny. 5 on odd once. 5 on odd twice. 5 on odd 3 times. And 5 on odd.
7 red.
Sold.
You win.
Congratulations to Lady Zafira for the additional 5. Damn. Somebody's on a roll. Congratulations. Afghan nation. There you go, another 5. Make the streamer pay, goddammit. Make him pay. 95% of level 10. Let's move that shit up, baby.
And he talks about Germany before World War I and, how it was so afraid and thought, oh, we'll just brush them aside. Talks about the Gulf War, talks about Iraq. And oh my gosh, did we see that in like 3 weeks' time with the Iran war? Way overestimation of the threat. The only column I wrote about this was using the exact same arguments they use for Iran with like every other country in the world. Are we going to bomb any country where 40 years ago someone held a death to America sign? Trump did knock out their nuclear capacity last year. And as I said in a recent, I usually at the end of the week do 5 stories on my Substack that either people have missed or they're missing some crucial part of it, my take on 5 stories. And one, I did 3.5 this week. And one was, does anyone really believe that Iran, if it had a nuke, and I don't think it was on the verge of getting a nuke, would bomb Miami, would bomb Israel? I mean, if mutually assured destruction has worked for more than 50 years, a lot of awful countries have nukes. Start with North Korea. It's not like we're constantly living in terror. Is North Korea going to nuke us? Well, they could right now. And they're an awful regime. They're a more evil regime than Iran. And why aren't we worried about it? Because if they did that, they would, to quote Trump from a few weeks ago, we would watch a civilization die. The entire country would be destroyed. And even I think people like you and me would say, you nuked Miami, we're leveling the entire country.
No, not DPRK nuking Miami. Okay, we'll be extra fucked up to start a global nuclear holocaust over Miami. Like that would somehow make a nuclear holocaust worse than just a nuclear holocaust. Thank you, Belgi, for saving the hype train. Thank you very much.
It's a horrible thing to say, but it works. And this idea.
If the DPRK nukes Miami, the U.S. should lift the sanctions as a thank you to the DPRK. Okay, she's boring now. I thought she was more similar to brother Tucker Carlson, but she's much simpler. She's just contrarian, mostly. She still has those undertones of the new right and the particular pitch that it has, but her pitch isn't like, hey, let's concentrate on domestic reform and taking care of our people. It's this is a bad move because like it's bad for strategic purposes.
The urge to get married.
Now I want to watch this. I want to because this discourse ended. And then one day ago, the greatest intellectual of the modern internet, a true philosopher, warrior queen, flew on ahead, thought about how she should have hot takes on. Now, this conversation basically started because Chuds were being exceptionally weird about this game, and not necessarily about this game. This game is fine. They were being weird about interpreting men and women playing a game and enjoying having basically a substitute daughter character and interacting with the substitute daughter character. Somehow they looked at that and they created this pitch that this game is allowing for us to go through some sort of great reset in which all of a sudden we are remembering that being a parent is based. And why did we forget that being a parent is based? Because the evil wokes and leftists have demonized children, have demonized the family, and therefore have to be fought. Right? That was why that was weird. People that just said, "Oh, look at this game. Look at this AI girl character. Very cute. I would like to be a parent. This just reminded me I would like to be a parent, maybe." That's a normal thing to say. That's fine. But the reason the left, some overreacted, some did not react enough, went fucking, very nuclear on this, is because of how they were co-opting the rhetoric. They were co-opting the rhetoric by telling us that people not having children is not an economic issue. It's not a matter of choice, but that the left just has this anti-natalist perspective that they push on everyone because we hate families and we hate children. That's the main post I had on this particular issue. I saw them post shit like, Diana has become the most important hard reset of the moment. Ladies going back to factory settings, and which is because just 3 women looking at this character and thinking that the character is cute. So I wrote, Chuds are so fucking antisocial, they unironically think we hate kids. I mean, to go look at them fawning over a cute animated child. Finally, we will have traditional values back. You might actually be severely ill or completely divorced from the real world. Thank you, Diesel Hashira. Thank you, Buddy Dude V, for the subs. Diesel Hashira for the 24 fucking months, which is absolutely insane. Thank you to Buddy Dude as well, and thank you for the level 11 hype train. Literally severely ill. Absolutely severely ill. Now, don't underestimate some terminally online leftists' ability to sometimes just be contrarian for the sake of a contrarian and build up a fake image of what we're actually like. Because there were anime character profile photo Twitter basement dwellers, okay? Terminally online motherfuckers with like hammers and sickles in fucking bio that responded to this reactionary hot take, which implies that people are not choosing not to have children because the left is propagandizing them into being gay and hating them. Okay? They took that reactionary take and they responded to it. You know how they responded to it? By saying, this game represents kids as if it's easy to manage them. Actually, kids are demons. And I fucking hate children. Children are disgusting. And actually having children is reactionary. Turning you into a reactionary. That's what you became. The second you responded to these reactionary demons by saying that, you confirmed all their stereotypes about us being completely batshit insane. Okay? So please don't do that. Please don't do that. That I am telling to you as a comrade. These other motherfuckers, though, such as this incredible philosophical queen godmother, the reason why you shouldn't do it, because this incredible philosophical queen godmother is going to take that shit out of context, pair it with, I don't know, something that, again, taken out of context, Hasan has said, pair it with your shit that is not taken out of context because you're being a weirdo, and then paint all of us as just basically being completely demented. Okay? I love crusty armchair theoroids. Me too. I have children, can confirm they are disgusting. I can completely probably agree. We just recorded a episode with the deprogram on family, and this kind of triggered it. It's going to come out on Friday. It's really good. The whole episode is just on family in capitalism, flexing on folks. Big up the lesser Antilles. Haha, thank you for the biddies. Had someone in chat try to argue with other people in chat who are parents because it's immoral. Sometimes people need to touch grass. Isn't pausing for life. Isn't pausing for political discourse. Poor JT, he is. Hugo, the last host not married. I am standing true with my wall cells. Or fuck you guys yourselves. But okay, I think you get my point. You get my point. I hope you get. This does not only apply to children. The liberal LARPing as a Marxist's inability to not ascribe either positive or negative values to commodities, services, and most importantly, ways of life is what has pushed billions, not millions, billions of people away from the cause through the last century. It is unmaterialist, and it is ascribing and using good, bad terminology where that is not warranted. Pairing the greater class conscious intersectionalist cause with shit you find icky is how we never fucking win. Okay? But also pairing the class conscious intersectionalist movement with this is exclusively good is also full fucking bullshit. Our cause is one which can develop an environment for people to be able to choose the way of life they would like to pursue, for people to be able to choose to be parents, and for people to be able to choose not to be parents. We are not here to force people to be breeders or to hate on breeders because of this or that particular quasi-philosophical perspective. And I'll apply that not just on the family, but on everything else. I was right. It's petty bourgeois individualist ideology, yeah. Famous Maoists. Skateboards literally mean capitalist fascism. Right? So you're welcome to prefer one lifestyle over another, but turning into a lifestylist who bases their opinion on what a system should push or not push based on your individual preferences makes you absurdly problematic for the cause. Okay? But now back to the real issue at hand. This is me shouting at chat, okay? Shouting at chat for the stupid shit you guys do. But now let's shout at the appropriate enemy. The one that characterizes all of us because of what a few of us say, while pretending that it's being done for a progressive cause. Okay? Okay, let's watch this. I love Chew on Head videos because they make me feel super smart. Okay? Do you guys like her? Makes me feel so smart. There's literally biological evidence for the value of non-breeding individuals in mammal groups that share childcare, and even ones that don't. Okay. You're talking about more communal methods of raising families. Yes, this is a very long conversation. Listen to the deprogram episode. We got our hot takes there. The so-called nuclear family is one of the many, many, many models of which through which you can organize a family structure. Family structure can also be utilized as a reactionary tool because it dissuades you from perceiving all of your fellow humans as members of one extended family and gives you a low-key woke excuse to fuck over other families in order to make sure that yours eats better. Okay, it turns alienation inwards and tells you that it's okay for you to be alienated from fellow man, as long as you protect like the 4 different people inside of the family unit against someone else. Talking about it as a unit as well as an exceptionally modern concept, we can go into conversations about why it is a unit as a tool of capitalist consumption, mostly inspired and pushed in the nuclear family model, specifically in the West, as a commercial tool for basically selling you more bank loans, etc., 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 etc. At the end of the day, family is a social concept, and it is fluid, and family can be whatever you want family to me. And we are supposed to, for those exact reasons, want to try and create a world in which people get a choice on what kind of family they want and what kind of family they don't want. That's it. Do not want to create a society in which somebody tells somebody else about much religion, much culture, much whatever. Okay?
Your eggs are drying up.
I made a video on the family like 3 years ago. So I have 1,000 pages worth of all sorts of theory in my fucking head that I'm trying to juggle, but I'm trying to direct it now at them. So yeah, just TLDR, don't be fucking weird.
If you're a woman online, you have probably heard that many times. Perhaps this image haunts you at night. It is a true fact that women's fertility begins to decline at age 30, and they suddenly wake up and get what we call baby fever. But what about the men? Do their sperms rot? Do their balls shrivel up into little raisins and die? Do they
People get baby fever when they decide to have children. Linking the choice to have children directly with biological incentives, and only biological incentives, is basement dwelling logic. But okay, this is terminally online logic. More complex when people decide to have children.
wake up one day and get baby fever? Do men have a biological clock in the same...
No, it's a very complex scenario in which you count for your material conditions, aka what society defines as necessary before choosing to proceed with quote-unquote breeding, as Shat likes to call it, combined with how much time you think you have left, combined with what kind of parent you think you're supposed to be, which is again subjective and comes from the particular previous experiences in life that you've had, not only with your parents, but the particular type of society that you exist in, which again is informed by material conditions. What I'm trying to say, and this is unironically the most scientific take, people deciding to have kids or any other very large choice, like moving abroad, like buying a house, like choosing to become a soldier or changing careers, they make them because of an incredibly complex cocktail of previous experiences that have led them to that particular decision. So it is subjective. It is one of the most subjective things that a person can do. And therefore, generalizing them with funny little quirky internet looks-maxing terminology is fucking stupid. But she's just jesting, so
way women do? I've briefly joked about this in videos before. In fact, a clip of mine from a video I did a few months ago actually went viral recently thanks to the VTuber Smugalana.
Ah yes, the male biological clock. It's not physical, but spiritual.
Men will deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making pancakes with your wife in the morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And the comments were full of men discussing their dreams to start a family. There is not much discussion about men's desire to have children.
Yeah, dudes want to have families, and that's lovely. Why we're calling it a biological clock is fucking cringe, but okay, I'm not going to be a hater for the sake of being.
Like many things, it's not really something they talk about publicly. That was until a certain video game came out.
Cheers. Men don't talk about their children or wanting to start families. Is this just an American thing? Men talk about whether they want to have kids with their bros, especially when they get a little bit older, all the time. They talk to their bros that have kids about what it's like to have kids. They talk to their bros that don't ever want to have kids about what it's like to have kids. It's like top 10 1 a.m. conversations. I talk about having kids with my bros every third time I see them, and so do they. What? I think she's talking about people that don't have bros. This is what she's talking about. Satori is asking for a sub. Drop Satori a sub. Reminder, Gamba is live, 5+, and we get the spin on it. Having kids with your bros as well. Bro, you want to have a kid with me, bro? Yeah, bro. Absolutely, that too. He continuously plays the forever theme of "Don't worry, boys. I'm thinking about you too." Nobody ever worries about male loneliness, but I do. She absolutely does that grift on fucking steroids. And as somebody who absolutely has been lonely, as like a male, and absolutely does care about quote unquote male loneliness, talking about this as if it's normal.
Were full of men discussing their dreams to start a family. There is not much discussion about men's desire to have children. Like many things, it's not really something they talk about publicly.
This is what contributes to male loneliness, because it normalizes that this is normal. She's saying it as if like, oh, it's a guy thing. It's a guy thing not to talk about kids. It's not a fucking guy thing to talk about not. Give me a more guy than me, motherfucker. We talk about kids. I remember talking about kids when I was 20 at like 1:30 after like 5 vodkas in me, bro. You ever want to have kids? You know, it's pretty crazy. Like you spawn a new thing, bro. What? This is an incredibly common conversation amongst healthy adults. Okay? It's a pretty common, even a debate. We talk about kids all the time. What the fuck? So yeah,
That was until a certain video game came out.
What are you?
I am DI0.
Well, a video game came out and reminded us we want kids.
3367, a state-of-the-art pragmata created here at the Cradle. I possess basic life-saving.
How about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Pragmata is a sci-fi action game where you play as astronaut Hugh Williams, who is sent to investigate an abandoned moon base. He meets a childlike android named Diana, and they team up to survive and escape the space station. Along the way, they uncover what went wrong and defeat the bad guys, all while forming a strong emotional bond.
There's a shit ton of games like this, yes, that play on the parent-child dynamic, or the unc-child dynamic, or the adoptive father dynamic, or the adoptive mother dynamic, or the mother-child dynamic, or the son to dad, or son to mom dynamic. That's lovely and that's fine. It's a very big part of millions of people's lives, and it's a great thing to explore through a narrative experience. Super fucking based. But looking at that narrative experience and saying, finally, we are winning in the culture war because we have defeated the wokes, and now games can finally talk about children, creates a presupposition that games could not talk about children, and that there is some evil left-wing cabal that does not want you to have children. That is the problem here. I remind some chatters, because I think they entered a little bit late, to not be weird fucking cretins that literally fall into this fucking trap by going full on read children, fucking disgusting, fucking blah. That's exactly the beautiful massive hole that they've left for you to jump in, because your incentive to just be contrarian to their contrarianism makes you look like a fucking savage. Jesus, I haven't shouted at you for so fucking long. Please don't fall into the trap. I love you. Please.
I'm counting on you, kiddo.
I mean, that NPC isn't akin to a child. It's like an AI thing. Yeah, you can, like, it's not a real child ever. In the probably the years is in order to get away with battling. Wasn't talking to you. I was talking to some other fucking freaks. This is just.
But it seems to have awakened something deep within gamers, especially male gamers. The urge to get married and have kids. I'm not planning on getting married and having kids, but damn.
Entering the entire discussion is already you playing to the meme. Rewind. If you're not a subscriber, ask for some oil and rewind and listen to what I said. I'm not going to repeat myself 100 fucking times. Family is a subjective concept. Let everybody decide what family means to them. And of course, having or not having children should be a choice. In late-stage capitalism, it is very much so not a choice because of, well, how expensive it is and the other underlying issues that limit people or change people from disallow people to make personal choices, etc., etc. A Marxist wants a world where people decide what kind of social contracts they want to engage in and are never forced into any of them. That's the fucking meme. That's the fucking meme.
This game is like fatherhood calling to me. Is this how women feel about their biological clocks? This game makes me want a daughter. What is this?
I've always think that people who are vehemently pro or anti-natalism are kind of just gross reactionaries. They literally are. They literally are. They literally are. Tell me what the difference is between thinking that children are subhuman and that a Mexican is subhuman. I'll fucking wait. I'll fucking wait. Oh, yeah. There is no such thing. Oh, but the child already doesn't exist. Oh, motherfucker, you hate children. Motherfucker, you hate real existing current fucking children. Shut the fuck up.
This feeling inside me. It can't be. It's like, I want to protect. It's like, I want to be a dad. They won me over. The white baby makes me feel paternal.
Also, the other fucking freaks, they're like, unless you have children, you do not know what life is. You must breed. Dedicate your whole life to raising other children, but then you will not have the ability to give them any wisdom because the only thing you've ever known is breeding and raising them. So the fuck, they're only going to become child raisers themselves. Yes, of course. Fucking freak as well. Don't get me fucking wrong. Absolute weird freak, like people that look down at you because you don't have a kid yet. People that use their child as the ultimate excuse, end all, be all. They mention them everywhere, fucking bring them everywhere. Don't get me fucking wrong, yes. You just fall into the trap by going down either of these tribal directions because that's what reactionary ideas are supposed to do. You're being a reactionary. That's the theoretical underpinning that I want to build in you guys' heads, and to at least through discussing this. Get me.
Will burn anyone and anything that tries to harm her. This game is dragging out the innate dad instinct. I want to like Pragmata, but I can't, knowing that men are also enjoying it. This is a game for incels.
That was a fucking joke. This is a fucking idiot. There you go. This is an idiot, right? Like, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. So that this fucking whatever the fuck clown can crop it and make us look like fucking like psychos. There you go. This is what they do when you drop your fucking semi-reactionary hot takes online. They crop it. And how am I supposed, if I'm a normie, how am I supposed to relate to commies when, like, I have 2 kids? And then now commies have painted me loving my 2 daughters as something that is fucked up, right? That's not true. Commies don't think that. But because of this, they end up thinking that. Give them free propaganda, it is that simple. This is a very 2016 ass video. Deva Kitty, my friend. You see who we're watching? We're watching Shoe on Head. He exists. Have you seen, like, even physically still exists in 2016? Like the aesthetic, the everything.
cells.
Hearing boy, exactly. Thank you for agreeing.
Babe, wake up! It's time for your yearly gamer culture war slap! It's 2014 forever, man. We are never going
Yeah, because of you, literally. That's what you feed into. That's where you make your money.
to escape.
Want a hot take? Female destiny. That's my Shonehead hot take. Though I haven't seen her like defending Israel, but the vibes, you get what I mean. Or okay, let me not be misogynistic. Destiny is female Shonehead. Ice cold take. Hey, come on, lukewarm take. Pretty accurate. Miss being in community with kids and being able to give them info and help them discover stuff. I'm glad you did that. And eventually you'll get it. I've found it always odd calling the loneliness epidemic being exclusively for men. Me too, absolutely. That's why I just call it the loneliness epidemic. But these hyper online men, having many girlfriends and women in my life, going out and talking to people, you actually realize it might be the opposite and actually worse for women. Though the underlying issue seems to be obviously stemming from worsening state of life and the economy around the world, and we're all getting more atomized and so on. Yes, you're completely correct. There is a loneliness epidemic. In certain aspects of it, it is gendered. In other aspects of it, it is not. As intersectional leftists, we should, in pinpointing the details, sometimes you learn how to give the best general advice, especially on governance.
Mr. Gamergate's wild ride. In this video, we are going to discuss the facts and theories behind the so-called male biological clock, after we discuss the drama surrounding the game Pragmata, and how—
Okay, I'm so excited for this. Are you excited, chat? Are we excited? I'm so fucking excited.
a bunch of men expressing a simple, wholesome desire, the desire to start a family, has turned into yet another culture war. Yet another gender war. The gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, dealing with dating apps, hookup culture. Do men like curvy or thin women? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they—
Okay, this is just pretty terminally online people playing life like a game where, oh my God, what are my stats? What are the other person's stats? Is he also level 17 or a level 18? Oh, I actually prefer this, like, dad bod DLC. No, I prefer the big booba one. Like, yeah, it's called preferences. It's okay. You can fucking have them. Why do you need to gamify it so much? I guess do it if it makes you fun, if it makes you feel good. And to an extent, one could argue that the community of people that talk like this, they're not all reactionaries, right? A lot of them are, not all. But that community is so big at this point that they can just start dating each other. But the fucked up thing is that there's like a underlining this. Now I'm generalizing and being borderline a reactionary. I have no data to back this up with. But there's a weird thing where like people that talk like this usually don't want to date other people that talk like this. They want to date the normie, which is fucking crazy. That means that you completely miss the point of dating and looking for a partner. If you want to be happy in a relationship, you got to find somebody that's compatible with you. Read me. Compatible with you. It is the most subjective decision that you can make in your life, and also one of the most important ones, at least if you're like monogamy long-term pilled like I am, right?
like beards or—
It's not about min-maxing and fighting the best other character that would choose to mate with you. It's about finding the other piece of the puzzle that properly fucking clicks. You're doing anything but, you're in for eventual disappointment. Disappointment in a week, disappointment in a year, disappointment in 50 years of marriage, eventual fucking disappointment. Your underlying thesis before you went in for the experiment called life was faulty, and that eventually bubbles up. Eventually.
Or clean shaven. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before we get deeper into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Henson Shaving. For the last few decades, razor...
No, Haiti, there's clearly a weird thing to point... there is clearly weird things to point out about the game and its community. The game has its community. But the average person wouldn't clock it or care to talk about it, so it's not even worth having that conversation. But what do I know? I'm just a... I don't know, bro. Exactly, this commodified nonsense around quote-unquote dating culture, but humans weren't still all wandering around separately until... Of course.
Even move? And here's where Henson Shaving comes in.
Okay, I don't give a shit. Wait, let me... I'm gonna go get some chicken. I'm gonna go get some chicken and potatoes from the incredibly unsuccessful relationship that I am in. Okay. Please continue listening to weirdos that have never touched another person about your fucking dating advice. Tune out right now. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll leave you with the shaving lady.
Compensate with pressure. And there's something really satisfying about that. Not just getting a better shave, but finally fixing something that's been quietly annoying you for years. Like when you spend months wondering why you don't feel rested even after you get 8 hours sleep, and then you realize, oh, I need a new mattress. You don't need more aftershave, you need a new razor. And since I switched to Henson, I noticed that my shaves have been smoother than ever. No tugging, no cuts. The best part is, once you invest in a Henson razor, it is a lifetime purchase. The only thing you need to replace are the blades, which cost just 10 cents each. So once you own the razor, you'll only be spending like $3 to $5 per year. Henson offers a variety of different colors. I have the rose gold. I think it's so cute. So if you're tired of razor burn, skin irritation, and overpaying for replacement blades, Henson Shaving is definitely worth checking out. Just head over to hensonshaving.com/shoe and add both a Henson razor and 100 blades to your cart. Then enter code SHOE at checkout to get the blades for free with your purchase. Big thanks to Henson for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now, let's get back to the video. Throughout history, there have been countless stories centered around a very specific dynamic: the adult protector and a child. You see it everywhere. In video games, they call it a dad simulator. The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, God of War, Detroit Become Human, BioShock, Life is Strange. Also movies like Logan, True Grit, in a way, Monsters Inc. Shows like The Mandalorian. Literature has done it forever with The Road, Les Miserables, and many, many others. It shows up time and time again because it taps into something deeply human. The instinct to protect, to guide, to teach, to nurture something more vulnerable than yourself. It is a beautiful and powerful story that has been told for centuries. And you're like really weird and an incel for enjoying it, actually. Incel game. If you buy this game, I'm gonna assume you are a pedophile. I feel like it's a breach of ethics at this point to design child characters for an audience of majority.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Oh, yeah. It is time to consume the food. What do we have today? Do it. properly cover this video. So what we'll do while I eat is watch some TikToks. Is that fine? And then we'll come back to it. Is that fine? And then don't go back. Okay. I'm going to eat now and we're going to watch some stupid fucking TikToks. Okay. We're just going to roll with the algo. I'm going to kill the camera. I'm going to eat and we'll be back. But do we like the food? I got an entire chicken. Okay. Get you a partner that gets you an entire chicken. Oh, what are we having today? Chicken. Which part? The chicken. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Camera off. 1, 2, 3. Media source on. And
$38, almost $39, living in a sober living, having people screaming at me for no reason, no money.
Ukrainian teenagers are going to prison for sabotage.
Welcome to Boston.
I'm in Boston?
Ne, slušaj, da ti ovo... kako...
No. I'm getting married today. Where's Samantha?
Marko, kunem ti, ako još jednom prođeš kladan kroz konja, ubiću te.
Ajde, neće ništa biti.
Biće tebi kad te... Ko je ovaj konobar?
Who are you?
I'm the CEO of the largest tech company in Seattle. I'm the richest man you've ever met. And I'm getting married today.
Ja mislim da je retardiran.
Moguće. Uči američki. Alo, Amerikanac, what are you doing here?
I have a better question. Where is here?
This is very cringe, the fuck.
It's always that one, it has to be a man that did this. He see I parked like this. I'm straight, but I park kind of wide, so no one would want to park next to me because they might feel like the driver can't drive. I don't know. That's my train of thought. But then I'm going to find one person that parks right next to me. Jeez, Louise. It's always that one.
Sve mogu sine da razumijem.
So I've been watching a shit ton of what I like to call the Entenmann's Donut Goatee Seagal era films.
Yeah, we watched one last night.
Anything post 2000.
Dude, let me check off some calls.
Probably 2011 or 12.
Okay.
So the last 4 years of Seagal movies. And he's never been like particularly an active guy, but you know, like
Under Siege era, he's in good shape.
He's in Above the Law. First of all, what people don't realize about Seagal is that when Above the Law came out, he was already like 34 years old.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a young guy. So his first movie, he was already, you know, like getting on. And you can see his hairline's fucked up in that movie. You know, it's all like thin, you know, in the front. Mm-hmm. And then in Hard to Kill, his hairline's fixed. And, you know, he's a little bit fatter. And he just got progressively fatter throughout his entire career.
Yeah, that was back in the day when you didn't have to be cut.
I have a hot take on Steven Seagal. Everybody makes fun of him, but everybody's secretly jealous of him. Because he basically does like 3 photo shoots a week and has like money just being given to him by the state. And everybody in Russia just thinks he's a fucking superstar. He does nothing all day. You gotta low-key figure it out, man. Guy glitched the Matrix.
Everything under the
satisfaction. I don't think men realize how lucky they are when women say they want equality and not that they want to castrate us all and send us into a burning pit of fire. Equality is like the lowest bar after all the shit we've put them through. I think we should be glad and respect that wish. I don't
Bulgarian barbecue.
Did you notice Jules stirring her water with her finger? No one realized Nate is actually her sugar daddy.
No ia uite ce e aici. Cred că tocmai o ciudat un turbo.
Sau s-a spart un motor. Noi să-l ajutăm pe om. Auzi? Baga cincea și dai drumul, să moară. Dai drumul. Așa, că altfel spargi motorul. Bravo. Cu drag.
Значи, добро момче съм, брат.
And I'm afraid I have to inform you, you are all dismissed. Yeah, you're all.
Excuse me? Yeah. Go ahead, have a seat for me right here, please. Tell me what you had to eat, what you had to drink, and what kind of drugs you took. This one needs some liquids over here, stat. Can someone go over to...
What religion are you associated with? Sikhism? Yeah. So is that like me?
Get up, Private Allen!
So who in the fuck was going to tell me that once you put on rolling mouth wristbands, you can't take them off? It's a month till the concert and I put them both on. So who in the fuck?
Okay, that's...
Let me tell you, if you're ever as lucky as me to find a woman this beautiful, you damn sure better snatch her up and make it forever. I am one of the happiest men in the world. Get in there, boo-boo. That's what I'm talking about right there. There's nothing like it. Don't you ever do this shit. It's the worst fucking mistake I ever made. I hate this bitch so much. Oh, I just hope I outlive her. Oh, but anyway, she is the one that makes me more happy than anything. Just look at her. I get to go home with that every day. Let me tell you, if you're ever as lucky as me to find a woman this...
On je seo tačno iza meni.
Someone just absolutely smashed Mr. Beast's YouTube world record. And Jimmy has already responded. For 9 days straight, this 23-year-old YouTuber from Poland streamed from his apartment, setting
Polska. Streamer.
A staggering new world record for the most money ever raised for charity by a creator. $70 million. But the craziest part is how he did it, because for comparison, when Mr. Beast broke the record, raising $40 million for Team Water, he essentially got every massive creator in the world to not only donate, but also spread awareness. Whereas Ladvogang didn't. Bro simply decided to start this fundraiser after hearing a cancer diss track recorded by a Polish rapper with an 11-year-old leukemia patient. And it was her story who inspired this campaign. And so he decided to set out with a small goal of raising $140,000, which he ended up shattering in a matter of hours. And over the next few days, things got so insane that at one point at its peak, it was viewed by 1.4 million people simultaneously, which reportedly became the most watched live broadcast globally at that point. And by
Chat, how did I miss this? Did you guys miss this? Because I fucking missed this. Completely missed this. I completely missed this.
By day 9, they had raised over $70 million for the Cancer Fighters Foundation. And the former record holder himself responded on X by saying, "Love it when people use their platform for good." Someone just absolutely smashed Mr. Beast's YouTube world.
So British people have been packing up everything, taking their savings and moving to Russia, and things have been going.
How many pints is acceptable to have in your lunch break at work?
Honestly, probably like maybe 6, 7. I'm not a sipper, I drink my drinks. I don't think it's acceptable, that's all.
I'd say none, to be honest. I fall asleep at 3 o'clock.
You shouldn't be drinking on your lunch break, but I think people you could probably have one.
Pushing it, 3 pints.
Levels of based being tested here live in 4K.
4 pints, like San Miguel or something, yeah, 2.
I'd say about 2 or 3.
Well, I used to be a journalist, so as many as you like.
2. You're not going to be visibly pissed.
Yeah, it's enough to get you, a bit buzzy for the afternoon.
2.
Depends on the drink.
Yeah,
If you're putting back cocktails, maybe the 1. Otherwise, yeah, I'd say 2 pints.
Maybe a couple, but for me, I wouldn't have any.
Most jobs working shit hours for shit pay. Have a pint, why not?
2, because it will make you feel good.
That's my fucking guy.
Good, but it won't make you overly...
6 or 7 was legendary. Fucking my soul sister right there.
Yeah, one more. I'm not gonna stop at 3.
How many pints is it?
What is Hugo doing when he's not streaming? Literally.
Nyta det goa i liv och
I just wouldn't eat what's it called? Fucking sea cockroaches.
Dobro večer, policija, znate za se zaustaviti?
Disney movies, they make it so much easier for the white girls to become Disney princesses compared to the Asian girls. Right? Cinderella starts off a movie doing household chores, right? I don't like. I want to go party. But she got no money, no dress. What does she do to accomplish this impossible dream? Nothing. For no reason. The fairy godmother comes down and gives her everything. Everything for free. Free slippers, free gown, free dress, free tiara. Not enough. Free transportation to the ball. Now, here, pumpkin carriage. Call Uber for you. She goes to the ball, right? This gold digger. She meets the prince, they dance. She gets a bit horny. She loses track of time, right? So, oh no, 12 minutes, I have to go back. Bye, 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 bye. Rushes off, bye, bye. Everything, she leaves alone in the slipper. It's okay, rush back. And then 12 minutes strikes, everything back to normal. Except the slipper. For plot reasons. Prince Charming finds a slipper. I've fallen in love with the woman I just met. Can't remember what she looks like. And now the prince must scour the whole kingdom, behaving like a creepy pervert. Show me your foot. Show me your foot. Sorry, show me your foot. Show me your foot. It's okay, I'm the prince. Show me your foot. Prince finds Cinderella, kiss, fall in love, happily ever after, Disney princess. She didn't work hard. She didn't find the prince found her. So passive. Snow White. Snow White is saved from the forest by 7 dwarfs. They give her food, shelter, accommodation, roof over her head, a bed to lie on. Don't have to pay rent. So nice. Towards the end of the movie, Snow White becomes princess. She marries the prince. She becomes royalty. She's rich now. She goes back to the house of the dwarfs on horseback. She gets off the horse. She gives all the dwarfs a hug. And then she gets back on the horse and fucks off. Don't get me started on Sleeping Beauty. What is the struggle? What is the character arc? I'm too beautiful. Sleep. Prince comes, kiss her without consent. Fall in love, happily after, Disney princess. So easy. She didn't do anything in her movie. She literally slept through her own movie. Now you compare these 3 white women to what Mulan had to do. She has to serve in the Imperial Army, disguised as a man to safeguard her father's honor, save the father's life. Goes into battle with one genius move, destroys the invading army, saves the general's life, goes to the palace, saves the emperor's life. Right? She kills the bad guy. She takes up the sword of the fallen villain, gives the sword to the emperor. The emperor bows to her. The whole of China bows to her. And then only then she becomes a Disney princess. She worked 10 times as hard as the other white girls to become a Disney princess. But that's not enough. Towards the end of the movie, her last scene, Mulan goes back to her village, goes back to her house. She has saved the whole of China. Her mother and her grandmother go, good job. But you see the handsome man you just saved? He's outside the house, inviting for dinner. Inviting for dinner. Because for an Asian family, you can save the whole of China. Your parents still go, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you getting married? Mulan's like, I wish I was gay in Singapore. Like, fuck this, fuck this. Disney movies, they make it so much easier for the white girls to become Disney princesses compared to the Asian girls. Right? Cinderella starts off a movie doing household chores, right? I don't like.
Shit. Oh, that was a meal. God damn it, dude. Oh. Oh my God, I don't think I can do this. Oh, that was, I think that was intended for 4 people. That son of a bitch. Rest in peace. chicken. Thank you. Sacrifice. It was impeccable. The onion. One of the hot peppers was. What? You don't just chicken? Why would you not eat a whole parts of the chicken? This was a great bit, though. This was very funny. Very, very funny. An Asian woman, it's 100% true. I'm no closer to being a Disney princess. Hugo versus chicken. I think Hugo won. The mask absorbed the food, yet opens like very animated way. Oh. And I suck it all in, brother. I love sucking chicken. The only thing I love sucking more than chicken is some good old oil. Ladies and gentlemen and NBs, we are reaching the third hour. We have reached the third. The tower has fallen. I call upon all chatters who want to support this show. Why were some people saying that an ad was playing? I don't think an ad can play. I turned ads off. Also, they can't play on political content anyway. I call upon thee to subscribe. Gamba is live. That means 5 subs plus, and you get to spin on it. You just ate. Just mangiano. I wish I could drink. I can't drink today. We just mangiano. Now let's spin the wheel. And I don't want to spin the wheel, but you want to consider subscribing and supporting the show. $6 a month, less than other countries, and free through Prime. If you have a Prime right now, go check it. Do I have a Prime? Do I have a Prime? Throw it my way. Proud of my contributions to this stream. You've done phenomenally. You're fine. Shush, shush. Drink tomorrow on Labor Day. Labor Day is in the 1st, brother. I'm not going to stream on the 1st. Fuck that. Nobody should work on the 1st. There should not be a single fucking stream on the 1st. First, you don't work. Fucking died in the millions. That House passed a measure banning white-only housing. The Republican voted against. What? You got any links? That's impressive. You're cutting out? I'm cutting out, really? Mamma mia! Figaro, 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 Figaro. Am I still cutting out? Gay, 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 gay. Are we cutting out? Okay. No oil chat. Nobody wants to Gamba. Is it time to retire Gamba? What the hell are you on, man? But a Spain chat purple. It is the beginning of the week. Let's get to 10 Western taxpayers today. Whoa.
Pretty male gamers.
Anyways, back to the conversation about how everybody's being weird about this, okay?
Like, let's stop with the defenseless girl the big strong man has to protect. This reeks of sexism and control. I hate these father simulator games. They always give me the creeps. This is low Kirkenuanly fascist propaganda and gives me pedo vibes.
Literally fucking psychotic thing. You're weird.
Wouldn't it be cool if I sneezed right
And there you go. So that this freak can co-opt it, okay?
now? Fascist propaganda.
There you go. This I wonder how they managed to present us as freaks. This is how. Ascribing moral values to El Videogame.
If this is fascist propaganda, slap me and call me Adolf. Zoomer women really look at a wholesome game involving a child and What the f is low Kirkenuanly? After hearing about toxic masculinity for the past like 15 years now, finally a topic comes up where it's overwhelmingly positive masculinity. And what is the response? I think the funniest thing about the—
There you go. Oh my God, this whole video is going to be her milking some freaks on the internet and presenting them as leftists. This is going to be the whole fucking thing. I think the funniest thing about the Pragmata controversy is that those incels genuinely think they could ever get near enough to a woman to impregnate one. Okay, this is this person making fun of right-wingers using Pragmata, the video game, as a tool for their ideological pitch that finally the world is changing because the wokes no longer control games, and finally we get games that present like parenthood in a good light, even though there's plenty of other games that present parenthood in a good light where you're an actual parent. You're not a parent of the child, but okay.
Pragmata controversy is that those incels genuinely think they could—
let's play a game. I'm gonna rate these leftists 1 to 10 weird. This is 1 out of 10 weird. Like, person said nothing wrong. Sean Head is taking this person completely out of context.
ever get near enough
So I'm gonna be rating the weirdness. How do we rate this one?
to a woman
This one ain't bad at all. It's not.
to impregnate one. It's not nuanced. Pragmata is blatant pedophilia catered to male gooner gamer.
Ten. Shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Thank you.
Why are people thinking this
Why are people thinking this is sexual or makes you a pedophile? Actually, normal question. Because men are notorious for being pedophiles and disgusting humans. They sexualize everything. You are not very smart.
is sexual
8. I like the energy, but 8. Shut the fuck up.
or makes you a pedophile? Because men are notorious for being peds and disgusting.
Literally, CIA smells like CIA. Actually, good point. Smells like this has to be Fed posting. There ain't no way somebody that fucking dumb. Wait, where did this just?
Why are people thinking this is sexual or makes you a
Twitter, yeah, yep.
pedophile?
You need to stop because that's how they make 1 million view videos, presenting us as fucking goblins.
Because men are notorious for being peds and disgusting humans. They sexualize everything. You are not very smart. A lot of loser males who often turn to gaming are pedos. It is an unconscious strategy to avoid competing with chat, as well as complementing their own pure attorneyness. Stall development. What?
That one's coming from a pure right wing person. That one was peak. That was peak. The guy was low key being like he's post gaming, like he's looks maxing, and in his looks maxing direction, he's decided that gaming actually undermines his scale of attractiveness.
Their own pure attorney.
The difference between sexualizing children and assuming the audience is sexual child. Yes, and then there's a third category when you're assuming that the developer of the game developed the character in that particular way because he was hoping people would sexualize it and that would lead to more sales. So, shit talking the developers of this game because there's some fucking weirdos that will jerk off to literally anything is not normal behavior.
Stall development.
You're doing the shit that the reactionaries say when they're like, this game has an agenda. Very good point, they're going here. You know, when the reactionaries go, this game has an agenda. It doesn't want us to marry and have children and have white children. We point to them and we're like, you fucking weirdo. No, that was not the point of the game. So when we do the same, we're like, this game wants fucking men to rape babies. That's why I'm calling it reactionary. The reactionary analysis.
What? Y'all are full of shit.
Look at look at this. You think this is not intentional? Leaving this flag. You think it's not intentional? We give them fuel. Okay, now it's not leftists, now it's trans people. Y'all are so full of shit talking about dead instincts. And we know why the fuck you want to play the game. You want to crack the little blonde bimbo. 10 out of 10 weirdo. Please shut the fuck up.
Talking about dad instincts.
Nah, today we're doing leftist infighting. I don't give a shit. Shut the fuck up, you fucking weirdo.
Whatever. We know why the f you want to play the game. You want to crack the little blonde bimbo slut. What? This character design creeps me out. Why does she look like a doll? Why is this blonde child with a blowout running around barefoot? I've not yet played the game. Is this expanded on in the plot? Or is this just eye candy for creeps?
You're not supposed to be noticing all. You're not supposed
I feel like I'm going
You're not supposed to.
insane. She just looks like a cute kid to me. Like, that is just literally a cute little kid. I do not see the sexualization, and I am a huge pervert, mind you. I do not see what the f these people are talking about. Are there creepy people on the internet who are sexualizing Diana? Yes, absolutely yes. It is a small minority, but it is still disgusting. In fact, a subreddit had to be shut down because people were making not safe for work art of this child, which honestly is not shocking. It's Reddit. But that's not the game's fault. The game has nothing creepy in it. These creepy people will always exist, unfortunately. I have made several videos about these people existing. People getting mad here are not getting mad at the people sexualizing Diana. That would be completely understandable. It would make sense if they were going to the accounts that were doing that and calling them creeps, but no. They're for some reason just getting mad at people liking and enjoying the game. They're just spurting out and randomly calling everyone and anyone incels. Why did they make her look like a porn star though? Why is the child sexy? Are you okay?
Yeah, they got us with this one completely. They got us up a tree with this one. They got us up a tree with this one. Fuck me. This video is 10 out of 10 right-wing propaganda, and we just gave them all the material in the world. All the fucking material in the world. Jesus. The reason I'm cringing so hard is because I'm putting myself in the spot of a normie watching it. We sound fucking evil. We sound actually insane. Reactionary pieces of shit use the game to start a conversation about their reactionary shit. And instead of responding to their act of co-opting, we just went whatever the fuck that all is. I do not claim these tweets. Me neither, my friend. that surprising? No, my friend. I guess it's Twitter. I felt like it needed talking about. There's genuinely a conversation to be had about how fatherhood is marginalized in today's world. For example, fathers are less likely to get custody and visitation rights, equalities in paternal leave. Of course, all of this is capitalism, patriarchy, which I doubt she will. And of course, she will not touch on it. He is not talking to relatively stable adult males. Is talking to people. Get her as some sort of fucking surrogate girlfriend. That she taps on the shoulder and say that everything is okay, and you might be weird, but the leftists are far weirder, and most of your problems do come from them because they're trying to pivot the conversation into unhealthy and crazy direction. You're actually rational, my little boy. Patting them on the head. Please give me. Who's were you speaking French? It just libs from Twitter, though. Well, yeah, that's how we should pivot on this pizza famine. I agree. We should just cringe at them and unironically call them lib, because that is lib behavior.
Enjoying the game. They're just spurging out and randomly calling everyone and anyone incels. Why did they make her look like a porn star, though? Why is the child sexy? Are you okay? These Twitter freaks see a child, immediately sexualize them, and think everyone else is as creepy as they are. Like, no bitch, that's you! And Reddit. You and Reddit. There is nothing in this video game that caters to the freaks except for the fact that Diana is a child. Compare that to, like, Cuties, where there were up-closes of real children twerking. That is media. That is catering to those people. An article recently came out from the outlet The Gamer that in the beginning talks about what happened on the Reddit and how disgusting some people are being towards the character Diana. Okay, fair enough.
Imagine just like making a fucking video game. Dropping a fucking video game. And then this is the discourse that comes out of it. It's absolutely bananas, dude. Absolutely bananas.
I agree. But then towards the end, the author throws in something very telling. I have not yet played Pragmata, and that's because I'm a little tapped out on stories where men adopt.
Gamers are the worst, though. Yeah, if I gotta generalize the subculture, that one's a pretty easy one to generalize. Sorry, I'm a little lost on this one. What is happening? Right-wingers were extremely weird about something, and then some libs were even as weird. And now everybody's saying that leftists are weird about children. Bro, this is a decent critique, though. Which, this part, yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm not shit-talking.
Enough, I agree. But then towards the end, the author throws in something very telling. I have not yet played Pragmata, and that's because I'm a little tapped out on stories where men adopt daughter-like figures and prove their masculinity by protecting them.
Yeah, the person just saying that's not for them. That's fine.
That is their real problem. Men protecting people. That's just them proving.
No, the person just saying that's, no, you're misreading this. Not yet played Pragmata, and that's because I'm a little tapped out on stories where men adopt daughter-like figures and prove their masculinity by protecting them. He's like, this game is not for me. She's not, I mean, or they, whoever the fuck wrote it, to the person that wrote it is not saying that those stories do not have a place, or that those stories don't exist in real life. The person just says they don't like that. It's not for them. That's it.
That is their real problem. Men protecting people. That's just them proving their masculinity. And as we all know, masculinity bad. Blatantly not fuel, whether you agree with it or not. The average attraction trope on a little girl. Blonde, blue eyes. I mean, the whole
9 out of 10 weirdo, get the fuck into the locker room. I am pulling your underpants and spitting in your ear.
whole game is low-key Nazi propaganda, to be fair.
You are a fucking cretin and probably 12.
I think the men who play this are probably creepy, but how is it Nazi propaganda? Blonde, blue-eyed toddler and tiaras-looking white girl you have to save is literally Nazi propaganda straight out of—
There is no difference between this and a person saying that it is woke propaganda because there's a minority character in it. Stop doing this shit. Nobody will take us seriously if we keep this. You are being a reactionary. Probably would have been worse if it was an Asian kid. Just don't even get me started.
the 1930s, dude. Sorry, I don't see it. Ugh, I really don't have the energy to deal with this. Just use your brain. Sorry, I don't have the energy to explain my schizophrenic paranoid delusion. Good. I don't have the energy to listen to it. Listen, I know— we're all used to seeing gay—
Making a 30-minute video off of Reddit comments. Yes, I agree completely, but let's not focus on fucking shoe on balls. Fucking let's just focus on shit talking some weird motherfuckers that think they're on the team.
Black, Hispanic, disabled furries in media lately. But I promise you, white— to explain my schizophrenic paranoid delusion. Good. I don't have the energy to listen to it. Listen, I know we're all used to seeing gay, black, Hispanic, disabled furries in media lately. But I promise you, white people still exist. It's not Nazi propaganda. I feel like this girl—
This is an insane way to pivot it. There you go. That's the nasty shit she does. You see, she is redefining the fact that there are insert niche group, quote unquote niche groups of people in media, because that is an agenda. Like, hey, you stupid leftist, you're thinking there's an agenda by having a white girl in the fucking game is stupid. Meanwhile, actually, the other ethnicities and groups being in games, that is an agenda, though. You see the difference? You see how I reacted to this and said, hey, you're literally being a reactionary that's like, there's a black person in my game, that means it's an agenda. By basically doing a very similar thing. Well, she did not do that. She did not equalize, because then she would lose money and then she would lose followers, because she knows exactly who she's talking to. She's like, oh, you're not crazy when you think there is some sort of agenda behind a diversity of caste. But they are crazy when they notice that there's no quote-unquote diversity. It's very American perspective, but whatever. It's not a red flag. It's fucking as big as the Soviet Union. Fuck, did you move the book? What's happening? Making her blind is definitely a choice. Could have been brunette, but they know she wouldn't be the same way. Westerners are so treat-pilled, they argue about video games all day. Yeah, and look at my stupid ass, I'm also doing it. But to an extent, I'm arguing about them arguing about it.
White people still exist. It's not Nazi propaganda. I feel like this girl character is an objectification of the idealized child. She's pulled right from the patriarchal white supremacist imagination, the perfect pure white girl child that must be protected so she can produce the next white generation.
I don't like Americans. Oh, really? You got all of that from, okay. Got all of that from, yeah. Wow. Okay. Sure, I guess that's a take. I guess that was a take. And then when they tell us, oh, we, look too much into certain things, that would be great for a decent essay for your freshman year exposition class. The analysis of children in video games and the way they are designed. You'd get a decent A+.
Anyway, funny how y'all have paternal instincts for
And this woman like a Nazi for real? Yeah, that's why we're watching it, my friend. We are watching how a right-winger that pretends not to be a right-winger is using batshit comments, sometimes well-intentioned, sometimes not well-intentioned, by people that call themselves leftists as a means to generate right-wing propaganda about us. A very fascinating and interesting conversation to be had.
child with a model woman's face plastered on it, make her look like an actual kid with missing teeth, short hair, bare face, snot, and see if those instincts kick in the same. This game is openly catering to pedos. The gaslighting is over. Wait, I'm trying to follow the logic here. Let me just give myself some brain damage. So we make her look more like a child in order to not cater to pedophiles? Am I following that correctly? Also, the face on the left is like a child 6 to 7 years old, and the one on the right is like a 3-year-old.
Okay, I guess an interesting conversation, but you're weird for fucking having it. I'm not a designer, so I'm not going to get into that one or rate it from 1 to 10.
Freaks and like the ooh little girl with the model.
Weeb incel gamers LARPing saying, oh, I want to be dad now because they're manipulative, creepy freaks. And like the ooh little girl with model face, especially the lolicons. Doesn't know the male gamers hate a realistic or ugly child because that's not what they're paying for. Problem with weeb incel gamers in this whole conversation is that they're saying that that game has an agenda. No, that game lacks an agenda because it wants to introduce normal people to feeling good about parenting. And that most other games have an agenda where they motivate you not to be a parent. So when you look at the right saying that, and you go and you say, that's what the game is, the game is actually pushing for you to want to be a dad, you imply that other games are pushing us not to be parents, which then again plays into their whole fucking treat co-option discussion, etc., about the woke mind. I'm just asking you, I am begging you, like Bernie Sanders begs for money, be a little bit more, with a little bit more forethought in your hot take. For fuck's sakes, please. The game dev for a different Japanese studio is no agenda. We just make games fun. I am sure that a lot of people are game developers. It is not the conversation we're engaging here. But apologies, fucking text from normal people land.
face, especially the lolicons, obviously. The devs know the male gamers hate a realistic or ugly child because that's not what they're playing for. If they made her look like a realistic, ugly child, none of them would be saying this. First of all, why are they acting like it's realistic to portray children as ugly and disgusting? Children are not ugly and disgusting, like.
And there you go. This is how they co-opted. Leftists think children are ugly and disgusting.
They're cute and adorable. That's what they're known for. Like, yes, she's made to look cute. Yes. That's how you know this game was not made by Western video game developers. That's how you know there was no Liliths on the dev team here. You guys would lose your shit while playing BioShock. Actually, BioShock is a really good example of this design working right. The little sisters are all gross and have gray-green skin. No, you don't understand. Everything around me must be ugly as or I will furiously start masturbating. This all sounds like 2014.
Okay, I'm not going to watch the rest of this because we learn what we can learn from it. What can we learn from it? What have we learned from it? By the way, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Guys, chat Gamba is on. Let's have some fun after this. I really need a palate cleanser. Please, I need a palate cleanser. 5 subs and up. If you drop it, you support the show. We don't have ads. We don't have sponsors. And we get to spin the Wheel of Fortune where you can punish the streamer even more than you already have, my dear friends, by making me watch this. But what did we learn from this? Okay, reacting to fascist propaganda about particular social issues or even about particular treats by completely accepting their framing, we look insane. Let me repeat that. When fascists go and say, cars are the ultimate expression of the masculine, the femoid cannot understand the beauty of heavy horsepower, wind gushing through your hair as you race down the highway. And if you respond to that by saying, actually, all cars are fucking disgusting, they are a metaphor for sexism, and we should blow up everybody who likes cars, you're falling into their trap. You're literally doing what they want you to do. You're applying certain moral categories to commodities. Then they can screenshot that and say, hey, do you like this thing? You like this thing? Like watermelons. They hate watermelons. You like bananas? Actually, leftists think it's disgusting because it's a representation of a phallic object. You understand what I'm saying? The second you play that game with them, there is no winning. What do you do instead? Is you analyze that particular commodity if you really want to talk about the fucking treats and their availability to the masses from a class dynamic or from an intersectionalist, interesting dynamic where you can also talk about social issues and stuff like that. Just don't immediately bite. We need to let them fester in their holes, simply don't engage. Absolutely. Won't say this because they don't have hair. About abolish the car dependent versus. That's not the point of the conversation, brother. Like, yeah, sure, yes. That's not what we're. Get my point. There you go. The second I used the car as an example, I knew that there was gonna be like a comrade. But you're doing nothing wrong. That's we're amongst our people. Thank you, Neil Greenburn, for the gifty. Thank you very much. Being contrarian is not a valid ideology, sorry, but any bad actor is going to be able to radicalize you into being a fascist if all it takes is these a la carte analysis of, I look at everyone's individual opinion on something separately, unconnected, and Guy says anti-imperialism, and I relish the edginess of going against my country's propaganda. Please have fucking principles, yes. Completely agreed. Being mad that someone said kids should be gross is still wild to me. Kids are gross, and that's half the fun. Like, they're little people learning the world and all the horrors and glory And that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm not mad at somebody saying that some kids are gross. I'm being confused by someone who's looking at a design of a particular character and saying that only their vision of how a character should be designed is the one that is legitimate. Okay? They're unironically doing the fucking no art but working class art thing. But being extra weird about it. Palette cleanser. I want some gamba for the palette cleanser. I want gamba. What's this? Okay, this I think this is a great thing to finish off on. Huevo ranchero. What is this? Looks awesome. Oh yeah, baby. Oh come on, it's riding a pigeon. It's a pigeon. Oh, it's not a pigeon. It's what do you call that bird? Oh my god, what was the name of that bird? I love the music so much. Music is great.
I despise this headline. I get it, NPR was trying to be neutral, but slavery is not an issue we get to be neutral on.
I'm about to go back to church with this. We got woke pop. Woke pop.
There is no gray
We call priests pop here.
zone. The people who enslaved human beings were evil, and John Brown was right to kill them. This is the cardinal
Can we get a wow crazy hamburger? I think it was 20 subs plus or 10 subs plus, and it plays automatically, my friend.
sin of the Union after defeating the Confederacy. Every person who owned slaves should have been put to trial, where the people they held as slaves get to decide their fate. Maybe they chose mercy, and that means life in prison. Maybe they chose execution, which is more than fair considering the crimes of every enslaver. John Brown was right. We should have rid ourselves of this rot instead of freeing these hardened criminals. Since there were no consequences for owning human beings, the enslavers continued their racism through segregation and Jim Crow laws. We would have been a much different country if we had listened to the righteous anger of John Brown. Now, I am almost always against violence. I think it is a poor solution to the vast majority of problems. Almost all the time we can get what we want without using violence. We just have to act with humility and patience. The way of Christ is to love our enemies and seek reconciliation. However, when our enemies are whipping and assaulting and murdering human beings, we Christians have an obligation to help that person that is under the whip, to free that man, even if it means acting with violence against his oppressor. Certainly, using no more violence than is needed, cruelty is not the way of Christ. That being said, the people enslaved under the Confederacy were beloved children of God, and more Christians should have followed the example of John Brown. I despise this headline. I get it, NPR was trying to be neutral.
Yeah, completely decent point. Completely decent point. And with that, my beautiful Tavarishi chatters, I shall leave you to the wins. And by wins, I mean my favorite tiny little... What the fuck? She's spinning? No, don't finish. God damn it, I was going to raid Little Bear. Son of a bitch. I was about to raid. Son of a bitch. Okay. God bless then. Raid Rushkag. You're raiding a person called Rushkag. Rushka Gigi. Rushka Gigi. Who is Rushka Gigi? Rushka Gigi. It's LB and Rushka Day with Little Bear. Okay, they're co-streaming. Phenomenal. Let's rush Rushka. Phenomenal. Okay, let me raid. Raid majority report. Not until I don't make the new episode. But remind me next time. Good point. See you tomorrow, chat. That is number 1. Thank you, Oilers, chat. That is number 2. We were almost at 420, bro. We were almost at 420. That would have been a perfect excuse Now I'm gonna go get ready more. I'm recording an episode on yesterday. We recorded the program on the family. That is going to be a 1 hour 40-minute excellent the program episode, and now we're gonna record one on Candace Owens, dude. I got Candace Owens, bro, with the reaction pod, ! Reaction. Now go have some fun with Arushka Gigi and Little Bear, and I will see you tomorrow. Fair? Okay. Very productive conversation here today. I was surprised to see how wise you were. In all our agreements and disagreements, I think you get my main point, which is you can get to and should talk about and criticize art, commodities, etc., etc. But by engaging on a trap that reaction sets for us, you are being stupid as fuck. Okay? There's nothing wrong with engaging, but there is a lot wrong with engaging the way they want us to. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, morning, evening / afternoon, and I will be seeing you when the sun rotates one more time around the moon, which rotates around Saturn, because that's how a day changes, right? Bye-bye.